Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Bill Fleming, speaking to you from the sideline here in one of the most famous structures in all of football, the Notre Dame Stadium, designed and built by Newt Rockne, and it is celebrating its 46th birthday this year. The Pittsburgh Panthers have been a long and, I would say, a tough opponent for the Irish. They've been on the schedule since 1909, and they've had some really outstanding players of the past. All I have to do is remember Marshall Goldberg back in the late 30s. Well, they also have a player this year that probably is the best of all of the Pittsburgh Panthers. His name is Tony Dorsett. And let's take a look at some of the accomplishments that he has had so far. Just a look at what he did a year ago and what he's done overall. Now, if he averages 94 yards a game, he can move ahead of Archie Griffin as college football's all-time leading rusher. That should not be too difficult for him because he averaged 140 yards a game a year ago. And, of course, you know what he did to Notre Dame. What all this adds up to, really, is the fact that this young man is a three-time All-America, and he is also one of the leading candidates for the Heisman Trophy. Before we take a look at him, let's talk a little bit about the defense of the Pittsburgh team. You know, it's a strong defensive team, and the Irish respect it. It is led by a fellow by the name of Al Romano. He is number 91. He's a big, strong fellow, 6'3", 230, comes from Solvay, New York. He will be playing as a defensive middle guard. And another young man has a very interesting story. He wears number 59. His name, Arnie Wetherington. I say an unusual story because this young man was charged with a theft last summer. He admitted his mistake. He went to work with the local community service organization. He worked with young people. He was reinstated to the Pittsburgh team. He will graduate in April. And I would say that right now he is a very remorseful but also a very courageous young man. So those are a couple of the defensive specialists of the Pittsburgh Panthers. But right now, let's concentrate on the offense led by Tony Dorsett. And, of course, he has a lot of men in that backfield with him and also on the ends to help him out. These are some of the names that maybe aren't as familiar as Dorsett, but I think you'll recognize them after the afternoon's over. Naturally, the Pitt offense is centered around their great All-America running back, Tony Dorsett. Dorsett has blazing speed to the outside. As Notre Dame found out in last year's game, once free of the would-be tacklers, Tony really made the 71-yard touchdown romp look mighty easy. He also has that great timing ability, which gives his blockers a chance to pave the way to the end zone for him. However, one thing defenses cannot do is to sit outside and wait for him to come out there, because oftentimes he'll be slipped the ball inside, like he was here against Southern California, getting 25 big yards. And now from ground level, we can see just how powerful Tony Dorsett can be, an elusive and very dangerous target. Normally, in the same backfield with Dorsett is their fullback, Elliott Walker. He's a mighty big threat. However, the word is that he probably will not play today against Notre Dame. He will suit up, but his entrance into the game is problematical at this time because of a nagging injury. You can see what a threat he can be. He not only has outside speed, but his great forte is the inside game, like on this play. And so, if Walker does not play today, it very well could hamper the effectiveness of Tony Dorsett outside. Now, here is another Pitt performer who will play today. He's sophomore Gordon Jones, a real specialist when it comes to returning kicks. Here is I think, one of the most unbelievable runs of the entire football year of a year ago. You'd swear that he could not get out of this trap. But he does. And look at the moves he makes. As he goes down the field, he winds up with a brilliant 80-yard punt return.
You know, Prestone antifreeze, you know it fights corrosion. You know Presto.
You know, antifreeze isn't permanent. It wears out like everything else. So I put in a fresh fill of Prestone 2 every fall. Why don't you? It fights corrosion.
Prestone 2, you know it protects.
This is my car, and I know Prestone protects.
Where's the roughest spot you have to shave? Your chin, round your lips, Under your nose, your neck, my rough spot. Rise knows you have easy spots and rough spots, so we make Rise especially for the rough spots. Matter of fact, Rise has 4 beard softeners. 4. We figure if Rise makes your rough spots easy to shave, it has to be just great for your whole face.
Dan Devine's first season at Notre Dame was a graphic illustration of the kinds of pressures and expectations that can make this coaching job a real nightmare. It's impossible to imagine another situation in which an 8-3 record would have been cause for so much anger and disappointment. But the bad feelings that surrounded this football program a year ago were very real. And at times, Devine seemed to wear his hurt and disappointment too openly, providing ammunition for those who said that he wasn't tough enough for the job. Well, it's impossible to tell yet whether all the problems have been solved, but certainly there's a different feeling in South Bend this fall. Devine himself, much looser, more relaxed, seemingly more in touch with the players. And the players are talking about pulling together. Many of them blame themselves for the frustrations of 1975. Today's game offers them an opportunity to avenge one of last year's most embarrassing defeats. Its outcome should tell us a lot about what kind of a year 1976 is going to be for Dan Devine. If the Irish are going to win today, they'll want to control the ball on offense and keep it away from Pittsburgh's offense. To do that, they need big contributions from 2 key running backs. One is Jerome Evans, a sophomore fullback who led the Irish in rushing a year ago. Evans is one of many freshmen who made huge contributions last year. He's not as big as some preceding Notre Dame fullbacks, not as big, for instance, as the Wayne Bullock of just a few years ago. But he's extremely fast, as you see here, a legitimate breakaway threat every time he touches the ball. Running mostly inside and off tackle last year, Evans averaged nearly 6 yards per play. He's from East St. Louis, Illinois, a great sophomore fullback. Evans isn't as fast as his teammate in the backfield, Al Hunter, a junior from Greenville, North Carolina, who's been timed at 9.3 seconds for the 100-yard dash. Hunter, you may remember, is the man who took a kickoff back 93 yards in the Sugar Bowl 3 years ago, the last time the Irish won the national championship. He broke a big one against Southern Cal on national television here last year. As we said, 9.3 speed. Hunter's been dogged by injuries throughout his career at Notre Dame. But when he's healthy and in the football game, he's a legitimate threat to go all the way on any play. The Irish have so many superb players on their starting defense that it's practically impossible for us to choose just 1 or 2 or 3 to show you on isolated camera. 2 of the best known are the starting defensive ends. One is Ross Browner, 245 pounds, from Warren, Ohio. A great player with 2 brothers on the team. His brother Jim Browner starts at safety, and Willard Browner is a freshman. Ross is a man who should make some All-American teams this year, as should the other defensive end, Willie Fry, number 94, an extremely quick player and a 3.6 student. But if you had to pick the one guy who could make the most tackles today, you'd probably go with the starting middle linebacker or middle guard, Bob Golick, only a sophomore. He won the job as a freshman in midseason last year and has been all over the field ever since. When we come back, we're going to be talking about the most glamorous and mystique-filled position in all of college football, quarterback at Notre Dame.
Last year, my sister and her husband were killed in an accident. Naturally, their 4 kids moved in with us, even though we didn't have the room or the money. I suppose they should have had life insurance. But then I guess I was their insurance.
Someone else may be able to provide your children with love, but you should provide the money. Call us. We'll help plan for your life insurance needs. Mutual of New York. Money for the future.
All right, Wally, what's so good about this McCulloch chainsaw?
Okay, the Mini-Mac 35 has Auto Sharp. It sharpens the chain automatically, and this McCulloch oils the chain all by itself.
What was that safety feature?
Oh, the chain brake. It stops the chain in milliseconds. You can't buy another chainsaw with all these features at any price. And it all comes in this carrying case.
Well, then you don't mind me carrying it to my yard. I've got some wood to cut.
Look for McCulloch in the yellow pages under saws.
A year ago, there were a lot of people here in South Bend who had nothing much nicer to say about Irish quarterback Rick Slager than that he's a pretty good tennis player. That he is. The star of the Irish tennis team beat out the flashier Joe Montana for the quarterback job most of last year, and as a result, he took much of the heat for an offense that ranged from spotty to inconsistent to sometimes utterly dormant. Slager could have graduated and gone on to law school, but he had an extra year of football eligibility as a result of an injury that cost him his sophomore season, and he decided to come back and use it. Slager has spent most of the summer working to improve a passing arm that produced only 2 touchdowns in all of 1975. He is a tennis player. In spring practice, when he held off Joe Montana for the quarterback job, he played a doubles tennis match the morning before the big spring game and came on that afternoon to have his greatest performance ever in an Irish uniform playing quarterback. Rick Slager is a senior. He's from Ohio. He had a difficult year last year, fighting for the job with Joe Montana. Once again, as we said, was the object of the scorn and the scrutiny of Irish fans throughout the season. He's very determined to have a big year this year. Part of Notre Dame football tradition is one of the great songs in all of college football, the Notre Dame Victory March. We've already talked a little bit about the glamour and the mystique of playing quarterback for Notre Dame. Position commands more attention, more publicity, more media attention than any other in college football. And the list of people who played it is like a who's who. Bertelli, Lujack, Guglielmi, Hanratty, and others. Perhaps no one has expressed the sense of awe and emotion that goes with playing the position better than one of the very best, Joe Theismann of the late 60s.
You know, times may pass, the records I own will be broken someday. Kids will come along that'll be much greater athletes than I ever was. But I've always shared something with the university, and it's time. And they say time heals all wounds. I don't think so. I share with the University of Notre Dame what I guess very few people get a chance to share. I was their man for a short period of time, and I hold those moments very dear to me. They're the greatest moments of my life so far. They really are.
Well, those intangibles and emotions mean a lot to Rick Slager, too. They had a lot to do with his decision to come back this year. We talked to him earlier on campus.
Do you consciously go on the field with the shadows and the memories of the Lujacks and the Bertellis and the Hornings in back of you, or is it just something that you think about from time to time without really being conscious of it?
Well, I think you definitely, you know, it's in your mind, and you can't help but have a kind of think about it at times. But really, you know, I came to the university because of all the great quarterbacks that had been here, and because of, you know, the great tradition that was at Notre Dame. And I think that upon being here and participating in the football program, really all that stuff kind of goes by the wayside. You really don't think about it anymore. But still in the back of your mind, I guess you'd have to say that you do think that Johnny Lujack did play here and that Paul Horning did play here. But really, you know, you're just competing with the people here at that time. So.
Rick, you did not have the easiest of years last year. And at times, you must have been aware that there were people in the stands who wanted Joe Montana to play quarterback. I wonder if that had anything to do with the decision to come back.
I think it did. When I came to the university, I picked Notre Dame because of the competition that I knew that I'd be facing once I got here. And I think that with the extra year of eligibility, I wasn't going to back down from what I considered another chance to play football here at Notre Dame. And last year, like you said, people did want Montana and some wanted Slager, and it was kind of a all-year competing type thing. But for me personally, I enjoy that. I enjoy that type of atmosphere. I enjoy, you know, I don't think I'd like to play here if there wasn't somebody right down your neck or right behind you who is capable of playing the job equally as well or You know, sometimes as he pulled through in a couple of games, he did a super job.
From Notre Dame Stadium in South Bend, Indiana, this is Bill Fleming along with Jim Lampley inviting you to stay tuned now for the game between the Pittsburgh Panthers and the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame.
Look for the Nancy Walker Show, new this fall on ABC.
College football. The opening game of the season for the Pittsburgh Panthers and the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. From Notre Dame Stadium in South Bend, Indiana, the opening game of 1976 for the Pittsburgh Panthers and the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. This ABC Sports Exclusive brought to you by Chevrolet. Like baseball, hot dogs, and apple pie, Chevrolet is an American favorite. Drive a Chevy and believe. By Texaco, doing the whole job, finding and producing oil and converting it to the products you need. By Light Beer, everything you've always wanted in a beer and less. And by National Semiconductor digital watches, calculators, and video games. Notre Dame Stadium, home of the Fighting Irish, 59,075 seats, and virtually every one of them has been sold for every home football game since 1965. And certainly today, this old stadium is packed because this game means so much to both teams. And it will mean so much throughout the entire season as the Pittsburgh Panthers come up out of the tunnel. Coming off a 1975 season that saw them win 8 out of 12 ball games, including a victory over Kansas in the Sun Bowl. This is the 43rd meeting in football between the Fighting Irish and the Panthers. In a sense, it's become something of a traditional struggle. It has been a little bit lopsided in favor of Notre Dame over the years, but certainly it was not last year. And now Notre Dame Stadium will fairly tremble as the Fighting Irish assemble in the tunnel and prepare to come into the stadium. There they are, the crowd picking up the sense of their presence. The band beginning the throbbing drumming that will spread throughout the countryside, and you can hear them well beyond Elkhart. The Fighting Irish with an 8-3 record in 1975. The second year for Dan Devine here in South Bend. 8-3 record for most football teams considered very good, but not necessarily so for the Fighting Irish. Hello again, everybody. I'm Keith Jackson. I'll be calling the play for you this afternoon. And once in a few times in your lifetime, I guess you can say, it's almost a perfect day. Everything that we came for is here. The weather 75 degrees, not a cloud in the sky. We have two very fine football teams ready to play. We have a Heisman Trophy candidate ready to play, and we have the whole thing put together in an almost legendary setting. The gentleman working with us as our expert commentator is a man who coached football here at Notre Dame for 11 seasons. He won 95, he lost 17, he had 4 ties. Coach Ara Parsegian. And Ara, I know that you have some recollections and some tremendous feelings as you sit here today, away from the playing field, but still caught up in the fervor that is Notre Dame football.
Keith, I remember very well coming out of that tunnel behind the ball club the first time that I came out. An electrical charge went up my back, and I felt a great sense of responsibility and a challenge. And I think that every time I came through that tunnel 115 times, some odd times, I still felt that way. And just as it just occurred now, that same charge went up my back.
You behave yourself now. What is it like for a visiting team, though? Now, you brought Northwestern through that tunnel when you coached over there.
Well, I think there's a twofold thing that happens. In some cases, some teams were intimidated when they went on the other side of the field. Full house crowd, the Notre Dame spirit, and I think that they succumbed to that. There are other teams that came in that were inspired by all of this. 60,000 people, they're playing before a full house and that sort of thing, and they came to play, and we met some real challenges.
Boy. All right, let's meet the young men who'll start the ball game. Here's Bill Fleming to introduce them.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, here are the players to be introduced today. First of all, the visitors from Pittsburgh. The defensive unit, number 80 at left end from Aliquippa, Pennsylvania, Ed Wilimowski. Left tackle, number 68 from Tallahassee, Florida, Don Parrish. Number 68, Parrish. At middle guard, number 91 from Solvay, New York, Al Romano. At tackle, number 70 from Sharon, Pennsylvania, Randy Holloway. At right end, number 60 from Miami, Florida, Cecil Johnson. At linebacker, number 59 from Miami, Florida, Arnie Weatherington. At linebacker, number 58 from Jeffersonboro, Pennsylvania, Jim Kramer. At linebacker, number 14 from Upper St. Clair, Pennsylvania, Jeff Delaney. At halfback, number 21 from Cleveland, Ohio, James Wilson. At halfback, number 37 from Baltimore, Maryland, Leroy Felder. At safety, number 31 from Library, Pennsylvania, Bob Jury. And the head coach of the Panthers, John Major. And now, let's meet the Notre Dame players. On defense, at left end, number 89 from Warren, Ohio, Ross Browner. At left tackle, number 74 from Rochester, New York, Jeff Weston. Right tackle, number 77 from Youngstown, Ohio, Mike Calhoun. At right end, number 94 from Memphis, Tennessee, Willie Fry, co-captain. Linebacker, number 58 from Cincinnati, Steve Heimkreider. Middle guard, number 55 from Willowick, Ohio, Bob Golick. Linebacker, number 43 from Hamilton, Ohio, Doug Becker. At halfback, number 20 from Muncie, Indiana, Luther Bradley. Halfback, number 18 from East Dubuque, Illinois, Ted Bergmeyer. At safety, number 33 from Warren, Ohio, Jim Browner. At safety, number 10 from Hammond, Indiana, Randy Harrison. The offensive captain of the Irish, number 22 from Wilmington, Delaware, Mark McLean, and the head coach is Dan Devine.
My broker thinks it's a good investment. Well, mine's not so sure. Say it, Ted. My broker's E.F. Hutton, and E.F. Hutton says...
When E.F. Hutton talks, people listen.
This is ABC, the one to turn to for comedy with the Tony Randall Show. Meet Judge Walter Franklin, just a man looking for a little respect.
There was a woman in my court today. I can't get her out of my mind. She was very attractive, and I don't know what to do.
Well, if she's guilty, you've got to throw her in the slammer.
Guess it's not as complicated as I thought.
From the people who brought you the Mary Tyler Moore Show, the Tony Randall Show.
You're looking at the only oil filter of its kind in the world. Monroe's new Filter Plus. The difference is a patented time-release chemical disc. This disc automatically dissolves protective chemicals back into your oil, rebuilding its protective potency as no ordinary filter can. Protecting your engine as no ordinary filter can. For the kind of double protection no other filter can give your car, get Monroe's Filter Plus, the only oil filter of its kind in the world.
They flip at the coin going on in the center of the field with the referee, Thomas Paspalis. The captains for Notre Dame, number 22, Mark McLean, 94, Willie Fry. Pittsburgh, 33, Tony Dorsett, 80 is Ed Wilimowski. Let's listen.
Okay, we've got a head here, fellas. The righty is a tail. I'll flip it in the air. Call it when it's in the air. Tails is the call. It is a head. You have one. They have Notre Dame has won the choice. Receive, pick off, and defend the goal. They will receive. It's your choice to defend the goal. You want to kick this way. All right, would you line up over here, fellas? Let's get over here. All right.
Well, there's the story. The Fighting Irish of Notre Dame winning the toss of the coin in the center of the field. They elect to take possession of the ball, and it gets a roar from the blue shirts on the sidelines. So Notre Dame will go on offense for the first time. And as they said, it is a perfect day for college football, 75 degrees. There isn't a cloud anywhere, a very soft little wind. It is still very much green across the Indiana countryside. And Ara Parsegian, I noticed that the field yesterday, as we walked around on it, is very firm, in almost perfect condition. But I would also say this, that I do, in fact, get the feeling that the grass has been given what I might call a Dorsett cut. Now, you see the golf ball nestled down amidst the grass there.
Oh, now, come on, Keith. That looks like a PGA putting green. That's about as nice a piece of turf that I've seen in a long... That's super.
Especially if you're a skating halfback with long cleats, huh?
That's right. Oh, they'll mat it down before the day's out.
Rick Slager starts at quarterback. Al Hunter will be at left halfback for the Fighting Irish. Number 22, Mark McLean, will be the wingback. And the fullback will be number 30, a sophomore, Jerome Heavens, who could be a very important figure in this ball game. Along the offensive front, Notre Dame is big, and they are quick, and they are very strong. And therein, perhaps, will lie the story of the ball game before the day is done. We'll introduce them to you in a moment as the Fighting Irish now deploy to receive the football. Here's your offensive line, Dan Kelleher, who comes out of Ellensburg, Washington. We out west at wide receiver, Harry Webkenberg will be the left tackle, 78, Elton Moore, number 57, the left guard. At middle, snapping the ball, Dave Huffman, Ernie Hughes, the only returning letterman at right guard, Steve McDaniels at right tackle, and the tight end is a very good one, Ken McAfee. Those are the fellows who play up front for Notre Dame. And the Fighting Irish will be wearing the dark shirts, dark blue. Despite the legend of the green and all that, the real colors for the University of Notre Dame, blue and gold. The deep men for the Fighting Irish, number 40, Terry Urick, a junior from Saginaw, Michigan. Al Hunter, number 25, a junior from Greenville, North Carolina. The man who'll kick off for the white-shirted Pittsburgh Panthers will be number 5, Carson Long, senior from Ashland, Pennsylvania, and this 43rd meeting between Notre Dame and Pittsburgh is underway. It is Hunter from the 3, and there is great coverage downfield. They got going until there was a white shirt on him. They got him at the 14-yard line, so he brought that ball back only 10 yards. Defensively for Pittsburgh, Wilimowski 80, Parrish 68, Romano 91, Goodwin, Holloway 70, and Cecil Johnson 60. First play of the ball game coming with Rick Slager, looking at Wetherington and Kramer at linebackers. Evans and Hunter set behind Slager. It goes to Hunter, running right on the power sweep, and he is cut down right about the line of scrimmage, and it was Jeff Delaney, number 14, the monster man, coming up to get him. James Wilson, 21, Leroy Felder, 37, and Bob Jury, number 31, is the safety. The monster man is sort of a free agent in that defensive secondary, big, quick, and strong enough to play a defensive back or come up and assume a linebacking posture. Notre Dame now sends a man wide to the left side as Slager turns and gives to Jerome Heavens, runs in traffic. He bangs it from about the 15-yard line up to the neighborhood of the 17. Arnie Wetherington, number 59, made the tackle. So it is third down for the Fighting Irish. They need 7 yards for their first down of the afternoon. Pittsburgh beat the Irish a year ago, 34-20, and Tony Dorsett ran for 303 yards. McLean comes wide to the left side. Slager gives it away to the fullback Heavens, and Heavens is out to about the 25, and it looks like a first down. Arnie Wetherington made the tackle. Ernie Hughes, Dave Huffman, and Steve McDaniels opened the door.
That was really good running by Heavens. He broke some tackles and stretched out for the first down. It was a very important play.
Number 59 is Arnie Wetherington.
He sheds the block there very well, fills to the hole, but you'll see Heavens gets additional yardage by stretching here and actually just barely gets the first down. Real effort.
In motion, Hunter. Better go ahead. Don't turn the other way. The pass to the sidelines. It is complete. It is caught by Dan Kelleher. Kelleher, a junior, 6'1", 203 pounds.
He may be a surprise starter. I thought Chris Haynes was going to start at that flanker back. Dan Kelleher is a senior and got the starting nod.
The football now is marked just beyond the 35-yard line. Call that an 11-yard gain and make it first down for the Fighting Irish. Hunter and Heavens are set behind Rick Slager. Now the lone remaining back is Jerome Heavens. Slager rolls right, looks, unloads to Hunter. And Al Hunter is across midfield. He's down to the Pittsburgh 49-yard line. First down, Notre Dame. So the Irish, starting on their 14-yard line in their first offensive possession, have moved it now for 3 first downs.
This is Rick Slager rolling out, and this is pretty much what he did the last 2 Saturdays. I've watched them scrimmage. They've looked awful good offensively, and they're starting this ball game the same way they finished last Saturday's scrimmage.
Kelleher left, McLean right. In the slot goes Hunter. First down Irish, and it is Heavens breaking a tackle, ramming the ball down to the 42-yard line. Call it a pickup of 6, and the play started from closer to the 48-yard line. So he has about 6 yards. And the collision between Heavens and Mr. Wetherington, number 59.
Duplication of what we just saw. You can see the power of Heavens here. He's really bleeding yardage.
Second down 4 at the Pittsburgh 42. Hunter in motion. Goes to Heavens. This time he is hit head-on by James Kramer, number 58, a senior from Jeffersonboro, Pennsylvania. That time he didn't break the tackle. Third down, they need about 2 yards. It is a short 2. The nose of the football just about touching the 40. It's in the center of the field. Jerome Heavens, his story on 75 when he played as a freshman. Ball goes to Hunter. He's got the first down, and he almost broke it. If he'd have cut it right, he might have sliced out of there.
Well blocked, exceptionally well blocked. Mark McLean, the wingback, drove back to the inside and made an excellent block to make that play go.
Carney started it, number 64, and McLean finished it, and Hunter made it pay. First down, Fighting Irish, Pittsburgh 32. John Majors, the head coach of Pittsburgh, going into his 4th season. John has been a winner since he came to the Panthers. Great tailback at Tennessee. Kelleher way wide left, McLean in the slot right. It's Heavens up the middle, and he is dumped. Slicing in, number 70, Randy Holloway, 228-pounder from Sharon, Pennsylvania, playing a defensive tackle position for the Panthers.
He was stunning down to the inside that time and made an excellent play.
It is second down. He got 1. 9 to go from the Pittsburgh 31. No score. 11 minutes to go. First quarter. Opening game for both teams. Slager turns it in. Delivers now outside to Hunter. 1-on-1. Hunter is caught. Number 31, Bob Jury, the safety man, who comes from Library, Pennsylvania, made the stop.
First option that they have tried in this ball game. It looked like they may have some daylight there, Keith, but it was closed down rather rapidly.
He moved it from the 31 to the 25. Call it 6. It'll be third down and a long 3. Irish showing a mixture of offensive sets in this first possession. Slager's still got it. Passes away, wide open to McAfee. Touchdown! 25 yards. Rick Slager to tight end Ken McAfee, and the Irish drive it 86 yards.
Super drive, an excellent drive. That time Slager faked a sweep to the right, and McAfee came underneath after Keller had driven the defender off, and was a perfectly executed play.
All of that noise coming out of the stadium as Slager holds and Reed kicks. It is good.
You gotta believe the Irish are ready today.
A touchdown play again.
You watch McAfee here. He releases inside. The play looks like a sweep to the right. He comes right between the linebackers, and there he is all by himself. Keller, the split end, had driven off the defensive right halfback. And, of course, you can see McAfee at 250 pounds, one of the great tight ends, I think, in this country, scoring the first touchdown of the game.
It's your face, let chick love it. It's your face, let chick love it. It's your face, let chick love it.
Schick loves your face with Super 2, the only twin-blade cartridge with a Teflon coating that makes closeness really comfortable. It fits track 2 handles, and it really loves your face.
It's your face, let chick love it.
Schick Super 2, regular or adjustable.
Chevrolet asked Chevette owners how they like their cars.
My Chevette drives much better than I expected. It has a really solid feel.
Being 6'3", I find the head and leg room in the driver's seat fine. I really like Chevette's interior room.
My Chevette's great. I really enjoy it. I live in Boston and can park it anywhere.
I like the maneuverability and the fact that I don't feel I'm in a small car. I traded in a Fiat for my Chevette.
Chevette by Chevrolet. It could make you a happy owner, too.
Number 24 is Gordon Jones from North Versailles, Pennsylvania, a flyer. Number 10 is Bob Haygood from East Point, Georgia, a quarterback. Bob Haygood is the first quarterback I've seen return kickoff since John Shera did it at UCLA when he was a freshman. Kicking off now for the Fighting Irish will be Dave Reed. With 10 minutes and 11 seconds to go in the first quarter, the Irish take it 86 yards in 11 plays using 4 minutes and 49 seconds. It looked very impressive, poised, doing it. Now we'll see what the Panthers can do offensively. It is the Pittsburgh offense against the Notre Dame defense, considered by most the two strongest elements of the game. Reeves' kick might go out of bounds. Nope, takes a big bounce. It's picked up by Hutton, number 44. And Hutton is drilled out of bounds up around the 21-yard line. He returned it 9 yards, and here's another look at the touchdown by Ken McAfee on the pass from Rick Slager.
You'll see these linebackers here, if they had just knocked him off, which they'll see in the film when Pittsburgh sees it, he would not have been open here. But he ducked both of them, came underneath Dan Keller, the split end who had driven the defensive halfback out. And it's really a beautifully executed play.
All right, here comes Pittsburgh to the attack with Haygood at quarterback and the right side of the Pittsburgh line. Joe Stone moved. He went into a set position, picked up a hand, and it's going to cost them 5 yards. Here's the Pittsburgh backfield now as they come up for the first offensive possession. Bob Haygood is at quarterback. He's number 10. Of course, Tony Dorsett is in that backfield, number 33. Elliott Walker at fullback, number 34, but Hutton is starting instead, and the flanker is Willie Taylor, number 29. The first play of the ball game goes to Tony Dorsett, and he breaks it over the right side, and he may go.
I don't believe it, but I saw it. Boy, that was, well, I guess Dorsett's back again.
62-yard run.
Do you think the grass slowed him up there a little bit, Keith?
Here it is. He had help, but a great deal of it was just Dorsett.
I talked to him just before the game, Keith, and he really is 190 pounds now, and he's much bigger than he was when he was a freshman at about 160. He's really a strong individual.
First down, Pittsburgh. Notre Dame 23-yard line goes to Hutton. And Bob Hutton at 187 pounds is hit head-on by Doug Becker, number 43. He gained about 2 yards. The line for Pittsburgh, the split end, is Gordon Jones, the flyer. John Hanhauser at left tackle, number 64. 77 is Matt Carroll at left guard. The man in the middle snapping the ball is John Pelusi, number 50. The right side of the line, it is Tom Brasosa, the right guard, 67. Right tackle is Joe Stone, 73. Number 73 is the man that jumped a moment ago. And Jim Corbett is number 81. The pitch is outside to Hutton. And no, it is Elliott Walker, 34, who has come into the ball game. Randy Harrison drags him out of bounds, and there's a penalty flag on the field. Dorset is out of the ball game, so it is not Hutton who left, but Tony Dorsett. Probably winded some, and now they are going to look at the left leg. Looks like it might be a left knee. The penalty is against the Pittsburgh Panthers. It'll back them up some. Rubbing the outside of the left knee. Though the temperature is in the middle to high 70s right now, it's probably considerably warmer, too, down on the playing surface. Era, what's the difference? 10, 15 degrees?
Yeah, it really does, because you get everybody in the stands here, Keith. You got 60,000 people, and it makes a difference. It's much warmer on that field.
All right, the 15-yard penalty. Holding backs him up. Second down at the 31-yard line, and Haygood, the quarterback, breaks it up the middle, fights his way down to the 24-yard line before he is dragged down. Jeff Weston, number 74. It'll be third down and just a little more than 10 yards to go now for Pittsburgh at the Fighting Irish 24-yard line. Notre Dame leading on an 86-yard drive in their first possession. Haygood sets Pittsburgh. Haygood back to throw. He throws short to Corbett, the tight end, running for the corner. Fights his way to the 5-yard line, and it's first and goal to go for Pittsburgh. 19 yards on the play. Randy Harrison saved the touchdown.
Keith, this is exactly the same play that Notre Dame ran for their touchdown. The tight end across with a run-action fake to the side that the tight end is on, and they executed it just as well as Notre Dame did.
First down, goal to go for the Panthers at the Notre Dame 5-yard line, and now life seems a little more tolerable for John Majors and his coaching staff. Dorsett is back in the ball game. Dorsett is back. Haygood coming down the line, delivers it to Dorsett. Here he goes. Great block from Hutton, and he scores.
Makes me nervous.
Hutton took down two Irish defenders, and Dorsett waltzes in. And so Pittsburgh comes storming right back to score 6, and here's Dorsett going into the end zone.
It's just a true option down the line. It's well executed by Haygood. Browner almost knocked the ball out of his hands, but he just got it to him just in time for the touchdown. It's a tough way to defense down at that part of the field.
Carson Long in for the extra point try out of Larry Swider's hole. Swider is the punter. The two kickers work together. Long is perfect. 8 minutes and 16 seconds to go in that first quarter, and we're all even again at 7-7.
It's going to be a little short. About 70 miles. This is Bob for Texaco Hope in the Gulf of Mexico. This water is 260 feet deep. It can cost up to 6 times more to drill for oil out here than on land. But we've got to do this if America's to become less dependent on unreliable sources of oil from abroad. At Texaco, we're working to keep your trust.
When you're my size, there's one thing you don't have to worry about, and that's getting filled up. So a lot of people are really surprised when they find out that I drink light beer from Miller. It has 1/3 less calories than their regular beer, and it's less filling. But that's not why I drink it. I drink light because I love that taste. Hey, Mac, another light. Coming up.
Hey, Greg, what's going on?
Fine thing. Shorty.
Shorty.
Ooh.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Don't forget tomorrow the season premiere of College Football 1976, featuring highlights of outstanding games from around the country. Tomorrow at 1 o'clock, 12 Central, over most of these ABC stations.
We're back at Notre Dame Stadium, and we're all even with 8:16 to go first quarter. Pitt going 79 yards in 5 plays for the touchdown. Notre Dame driving for theirs a distance of 86 yards in their first possession. So let's see what we have now as Carson Long prepares to kick off to Terry Urick or Al Hunter.
Those two drives were really about as well executed as you'll see this early in the game by both ball clubs.
Biggest play in the game, 62-yard gallop by Mr. Tony Dorsett, who's hunting the Heisman in 1976, his senior year. Also hunting the all-time rushing record, which is held by Archie Griffin at 51-77. Long is ready now, number 5. That's Urick, number 40. Ball falls off the tee, and back he comes again. That's the second time the ball has fallen off. There really isn't much wind to fool with. Very light, soft little breeze, and it's blowing to the back.
Looking up to the flags to the north end, it looks like it's picking up a little bit, Keith. coming out of the northwest, it appears.
Which means that Notre Dame will be going into it. All right, now we're ready. As Long, once more, will come up and replace the ball on the tee. Well, let's get us a different tee and spend a moment with Jim Lampley.
Tony Dorsett had a pop on the outside of the knee, and for a moment there were anxious moments on the Pittsburgh sideline as they thought that he had twisted the knee. He had a little bit of pain, came limping over the sidelines. But after they looked at it and worked it around, he said he felt fine. No swelling, seemed to be okay. As you saw, he was fine when he went back into the game to score the TD. Keith?
He had 303 yards against this ball club last year, too, remember? Now they've got a flat tee out there, and they'll hold it like we used to when we were Callow Youth coach.
Going back a ways.
That's Tony Dorsett sitting on the sidelines in the warm sunshine, having gotten himself off to a very fine start. Now, if we can proceed with the ball game here, fellas.
Kick the shit out of it, Carson. Hold the ball.
Long bangs it. It's Hunter in the end zone, 2 yards deep. Got a hole up the middle. Penalty. As the flag goes down back around the 12-yard line, it may have against the Irish. Randy Rudershan made the stop for Pittsburgh. Could very well be a clip back in there.
You know, when he started out of there, Keith, it reminded me of that long run we had in the Sugar Bowl with Al. He came up, looked like there was going to be a seam in there, and if he'd have sprung it, could have gone all the way. Unfortunately, there's a penalty there of clipping.
That is a major mistake because it backs the Irish all the way to their 6-yard line. Remember, they started in their first possession on their 14 and capped it off with a 25-yard scoring pass, Slager to McAfee. And they showed us a number of offensive sets in that first drive era. Let's see what they come up with now.
Sure did.
Chris Haynes is the wide receiver to the left side in this series with Evans and Hunter. Behind Slager, and it is Evans. And Evans, running at about 210 pounds, gets it out to the 10-yard line. Don Parrish, number 68, a senior for Pittsburgh from Tallahassee, Florida, made the stop.
Ernie Hughes, the left guard, made a good block on the play. Ernie's from Boise, Idaho.
2nd down and 6 for Notre Dame. Score is all even at 7-7. It's Hunter. Pittsburgh saw him coming. Firing through was number 58, James Kramer. And finishing off Hunter was Randy Holloway, number 70.
Al Romano was in there. The middle guard also did a good job on that play.
He, sir, is a very good football player. Number 91.
I don't think I'd be inclined to put the ball up here. This is a 10-yard line going into the wind. Let's see what Rick Slager does.
On 3rd and 7 from just inside the 10. On a throw. Throws it to the sidelines, completed the pass to Chris Haynes, the sophomore from Sydney, Ohio. Haynes tumbles out. And they'll, I guess, wave it off as being incomplete.
Rick Slager is rolling out to the right. Apparently was out of bounds. He caught the ball. It was a little low, but just goes to show you how much I know about it.
I don't know about that. All right, from just inside the 10-yard line, it is 4th down, and Joe Restic is in to do the punting. Gordon Jones is the deep man for the Pittsburgh Panthers. Remember, he is a real speedster, and it's a kick that can be returned if Jones gets the right kind of a bounce, but Restic was able to keep it away from him, and he knocks it out of bounds right about the Pittsburgh 48-yard line, 43-yard punt. Here's Bill.
All right, the Buckeyes of Ohio State really started fast today. They beat Michigan State by the score of 49-21. The Buckeyes got their first touchdown with less than 4 minutes to go. Quarterback Rod Gerald ran 17 yards. And from there on, Pete Johnson had 2 TDs. And some of the fans will forget Archie Griffin based on Jeff Logan's scores today. 3 touchdowns for Jeff Logan. Okay, back to you, Keith.
Thank you, Bill Fleming. And now it is Bob Haygood at quarterback going down the line on the option. Gives it to Hutton. Bob Hutton is stacked up as he gets about 1 yard, moving from, let's start this series at the 47-yard line of Pittsburgh. Tony Dorsett, along with Hutton, are the running backs. Jones is wide. Your flanker is Willie Taylor for Pittsburgh, and the tight end is Jim Corbett. Corbett And the other tight end in the ball game, Ken McAfee for Notre Dame, making big plays in both touchdown drives. Second down and 9 yards to go for Pittsburgh and the white. Haygood, caught. Ross Browner, 89, comes from the defensive end position to get him.
Ross Browner is a real football player from Warren, Ohio, and he's got 2 brothers here also. You know, he was a starter for us his freshman year when we won the national championship. And here he is really destroying the blocker right there, taking on Haygood because he cut off the option. Great play by Ross.
That's how you stop the veer.
Right.
Third down, 9 yards to go as Haygood goes straight back. He looks for Taylor. The ball is batted away. Number 77 was there, Mike Calhoun, and number 89, Ross Browner. And it was Browner that slapped it down.
Big series, Keith, for us.
The Buckeyes of Woody Hayes opening big, 49-21, as you heard from Bill Fleming a moment ago. Whew. Don't you worry about the Bucks. They'll be all right, folks.
Every year.
Deep now for the punt, Al Hunter. Randy Harrison goes back with him. Larry Swider kicks it for Pittsburgh. He kicks it toward Harrison. Look out, Randy. Whew. Well, he's going to get up. He's all right. 5:34 to go first quarter. We're still even at 7-7.
Janet, have you been making my son his favorite chicken soup?
Yes, Mother.
Well, you use chunks of tender chicken?
Oh, yes.
And fried noodles?
Of course, Mother. Sliced mushrooms, too.
You must make some soup.
So chunky, you'd be tempted to eat it with a fork.
Really? Well, I'll be right over.
Oh.
Campbell's Chunky Chicken Soup. So chunky, you'll be tempted to eat it with a fork. But use a spoon. You'll want to get every drop.
You're looking at one of the best-known insurance signs, the fire hat of Fireman's Fund. But for the best deal, you should also know the sign of the man who sells our insurance. It's oval, with an I, for your independent insurance agent. Independent because he represents not just Fireman's Fund, but many companies. So for the right insurance at the right price, sign up with your independent agent. He serves you first. In the yellow pages, Fireman's Fund Insurance Companies.
The football is sitting at the Notre Dame 16-yard line. First down for the Fighting Irish. 60,000 plus here today. I don't have any doubt but what there are more people than the stadium capacity is supposed to be. But it is absolutely jam-packed. Here's Rick Slager now with Evans and Hunter back of him. Ready for the Fighting Irish from their 16-yard line. The score is 7-7, and it's Hunter with the ball. Great play as Pittsburgh read the power sweep just right. Cecil Johnson, number 60, and Randy Holloway, number 70. They both came from the defensive right side.
Seems as if after those 2 opening drives, both teams have settled down defensively.
We're at 5 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the first quarter now. Pittsburgh will do a lot of slanting defensively, and if they guess right, they've got you. Slager to throw. Rolling it out. Pulls it down. Goes down in a heap up around the 18-yard line. Making a good play defensively was Wilimowski, the defensive end, number 8, who kept stringing out the play and then got help from Parrish and Romano.
Rick Slager made a good decision there. They had good coverage on both receivers, and nobody's open. You might as well not throw the ball away, particularly in that position in the field.
Now it is third down for Notre Dame, and the football is up at the 18. They need 8 yards. Slager rolling it left this time. Gets his pass off, has a man drop. Penalty flag is down. Jerome Evans coming out of the backfield had the ball on his fingertips. Penalty flag was thrown on the other side of the field as we had a couple of guys get tangled up over there, and it's going to be a holding call against Notre Dame. Pittsburgh very likely could choose not to take that penalty and just let him kick it away.
You know, interestingly, the receiver was wide open. We may see more of that later in this football game.
Right, that's quite likely. Pittsburgh waves it off. They don't want it. They want the ball. The head linesman today is Wayne Meese. The back judge is Tom Klein. Umpire Foster Gross. Francis Keogh, the field judge. James McCookin, the line judge. Joe Restick in the front now, number 7. He is the side. Mr. Gordon Jones is waiting. Low kick. Jones got a shot at this one. Beautiful fake, but then he gets nailed at the 41-yard line. Oh, he is quick. Here again is Bill Fleming.
And more scores coming up here, Keith. The Wolverines of Michigan won today, as we just gave you Ohio State and Michigan State. But the University of Michigan Wolverines, with 3 touchdowns by Harlan Huckleby and Rick Leach passing to Jimmy Smith for 2, defeated Wisconsin today 40-27. Okay, Keith.
I was up at Ann Arbor not so long ago and visited with Bo Schembechler after his heart surgery. He looks like a 25-year-old, and it's just bouncing all over the place. So we look ahead to a great season for the Wolves. All right, now let's go back to the field as Pittsburgh goes to work. First down at the Notre Dame 42-yard line. Score 7-7. Ball is handed off to Dorsett. Dorsett is hit by Jeff Weston, number 74.
Jeff's dad went to Notre Dame as a football player here. They're from Rochester, Pennsylvania.
During the 11 years that you coached at Notre Dame, I suspect you spent a lot of time in Pennsylvania, didn't you?
Yeah. Good football state.
On the 40-yard line, second down and 8 yards to go for the Panthers. Notre Dame with a 4-man front. Haygood going down the line, shakes off one, flips it wide. Dorsett bobbles, loses momentum. Irish catching. Jim Browner, who was a fullback a year ago, now playing at a safety position. Number 33 comes to get him. He's the brother of Ross Browner. Stanford and Penn State, the final 15-12, and it's got to be a typical Joe Paterno ball club. He's lost a couple of good running backs, but he still beats Stanford by 3. And next Saturday, for many of you over these ABC stations, you'll have a chance to see Ohio State and Penn State. There are some other scores. It's Bowling Green looking very good, as expected. It is third down, 11 yards to go, as Dorsett lost 2. And Haygood rolls, looks deep, throws short. Intended for Bob Hutton coming out of the backfield, and he missed him. He was under some pressure. Tony Dorsett, doing some blocking, was decked very hard by the charging defenders for Notre Dame.
Ross Browner in particular.
West Virginia opening successfully, beating Villanova today, 28-7. Georgia and California, 36-24, the Georgia Bulldogs. Look out, Bear. Maryland with a relatively easy win over Oregon State and Kentucky. A lot of scores to be seeing this afternoon. Bill Fleming will keep you up to date on the big ones and give you some of the details. On fourth down, Larry Swider in the front, shanks it off the side, but he's going to get quite a bit out of it as it rolls and rolls, and it's dead on the 1. Nope. Momentum carried it in. If he'd left it alone, the ball had stayed out. But the white shirt jumped on it. The ball had rolled and started to turn back upfield, and Rudershan, trying to make sure it didn't get into the end zone, carried it in.
I think that's right, Keith. He carried it in before he had possession. I think they're going to move it out to the 20.
That's right. So that's one of those little mistakes that sometimes add up to a big mistake. Watch the ball now as we look at it again. Watch it as it gets rolling to the goal line. Now the thing turns around and starts to come back up the field. If Randy had just let it roll, been all right.
Just used his hand there to bat it back.
Yep. I tell you, you talk about your competitors, though. That number 19 in the white shirt is a competitor. All right, let's see what happens as the Irish come up now again with 3 minutes and 12 seconds to go in the first quarter, and the score even at 7-7. Rick Slager, the quarterback. Joe Montana out with a separation of the shoulder. You won't see him today at all. And they take it in the middle of the big guy, Jerome Heavens, and he hits it out to about the 24-yard line. All the players on the field today are products of high school football programs. National Federation of State High School Association invites your continued support for the more than 15,000 interscholastic football programs across the country. We invite you to go see a high school football game and enjoy yourself. Second down and 6 yards to go for Notre Dame. Lone remaining back now is Jerome Heavens. As they said, Hunter in motion, give it to him. That becomes a power sweep. As Hunter comes back in motion, the blocking is good enough for the first down as Al takes it over the 30.
Makes a double wing out of it, trying to appear that there is strength to the right side defensively. Goes back in motion to the right, picked up the first down on the play. Pretty well blocked, too.
Might note here, too, Era, that Chrissy Everett won the U.S. Women's Open Tennis Championship today, beating Yvonne Goolagong 6-3, 6-love. And I should say Yvonne Goolagong Poland. First down. Ball goes up the middle, but as part of the action, I should point out that number 11 for Notre Dame, Rick Slager, the quarterback, took an old-fashioned country whipping from Ed Wilimowski, the defensive end, as Wilimowski came in and just planted him after the handoff.
Well, they had a misdirection play trying to get the ball back to Mark McLean, and penetration created the problem.
Gain of a yard. As McLean counted it back inside, now it is Chris Haynes wide left. McLean's in the slot. Hunter comes up on this side into the slot position, goes in motion, handed off to Evans. And Evans cracks it up to the 35. It's going to be third down, 5, maybe 6 yards to go for the Fighting Irish. Call it 6.
May sneak a little screen in here, I got a feeling. I don't know. I'm guessing a little bit, but it'd be a good time for it.
Both teams have 2 or 3 screen plays in their playbook. I know that for a fact. They like to go to Jones on a screen, a wide receiver screen for Pittsburgh, and I wouldn't be at all surprised to see Notre Dame come up before the game's over with a tight end screen using McAfee. Slager to throw on third down and 6. Over the middle, it is incomplete. The ball was thrown behind McAfee.
McAfee was open on the play, was just thrown slightly behind him.
McAfee is so big at 6'4", 253, big guy from Brockton, Massachusetts, that he really is so big he can go in there one-on-one in that secondary, and if Slager can get the ball to him, he can get it.
He fakes to the inside and rolls into what we call a curl pattern. There he is open. The ball was just thrown slightly behind him.
Brings up a punting down on 4th and 6 for Joe Restic, and Gordon Jones is deep. This time Restic gets it a little higher and gets a good roll and knocks it out inside the Pittsburgh 30-yard line. Call it the 28 first down Panthers. Here's Bill Fleming.
All right, Keith, we want to bring our viewers up to date on that Penn State-Stanford game, which was really quite a thriller. Penn State went out in front by the score of 15-0. They led 15-3 at the end of the first quarter, and then Mike Michel came in, kicked a 52-yard field goal, kicked another one of 27, and Mike Cordova hit Tony Hill with a 28-yarder. And so, Penn State really had to hang on to beat Stanford today. You'll see, much of the nation will see him next week. Okay, Keith.
Tony Dorsett hits over the left side from, let's say, the 29-yard line, gets about 2, perhaps 3, as he punches near the 32-yard line, and we're winding down toward the end of the first quarter. Jerry Klein, our spotter, kind of noted to me that it seems like it is, at this moment, Ara Parsegian, sort of a game of cat and mouse.
It really is. I think they're still feeling one another out, but Notre Dame is winning the kicking game battle, field position-wise.
Haygood going to carry it. Didn't even fool around. He just pulled it right down, and a penalty flag is thrown right behind him. Matt Carroll, probably the man, but nonetheless, somebody was either clipping or holding back there.
There's a clip, Keith.
Haygood didn't fool anybody. He just took the snap, turned outside behind good blocking, and took off.
That's what it looked like, just a predetermined sweep, quarterback sweep.
But the clip is going to cost 15 for the Panthers and take the ball back to their own 18-yard line. 16 seconds to go in the first quarter. We invite you to join us Monday night on ABC Sports for the premiere of Monday Night Football for the 1976 season. From Buffalo, the Bills and the Miami Dolphins at 9 Eastern, 8 Central Time over most of these ABC stations. Notre Dame now with a 5-man front. Ball is handed off, and there is no daylight as the 2 big tackles, Jeff Weston and Mike Calhoun, are there to bury Bob Hutton. The first quarter's over, and the score 7-7.
This number has been brought to you by National Semiconductor, who, according to Consumer Electronics magazine, sold more handheld calculators last year than anybody else in America.
You like garage sales because you can find such great buys? Then you'll really like the biggest garage sale of them all. Your Chevy dealer's annual garage sale. So if you've been waiting for the best time to buy a 76 model, this is it. You'll likely get some of the best deals you can get on some of the best cars and trucks you can get. Chevrolets. You like that idea? Chevy thought you would. So come on down to your Chevy dealer's garage sale now.
I tune up friends' cars as a favor. But when they say I need new points, condensers, and plugs, I say you may not need new plugs. Not if you use these auto lights. They got a special extended tip that's self-cleaning, burns off carbon deposits. So instead of lasting 5,000 miles, they'll easily last 10,000. They say, change the plugs. So I changed the plugs. What do I do with their old auto lights? Put them in my car. I haven't bought a new plug in years.
We go now to the second quarter of play as we look at the Golden Dome in the center of the campus of the University of Notre Dame here in South Bend, and just easy walking distance away is Notre Dame Stadium, built in 1931 at a cost of $600,000. Costs you that much nowadays to paint it. Third down and long yardage for the Pittsburgh Panthers, and it is Tony Dorsett who broke a 62-yarder to set up their touchdown, who blows it out of there and takes it to the 35-yard line for a first down.
Notre Dame was anticipating a pass, a draw, or a screen, and left a little bit of a vulnerable area in the middle, and Dorsett took it. It was a good call by Haygood, really.
One of the Irish shaken on the play, and the middle of that short yardage area up in the middle of the Notre Dame defense is perhaps the most vulnerable area in this particular defense setup for the veer. It is Jeff Weston, number 74, who is down on the field. His backup man is Ken Dyke, a 235-pound junior from Maryville, Indiana. They didn't get the first down, did they? No, they didn't. 17-yard pickup. They still need about 4.5 yards for it, as Dorsett almost busted it out of there and seemed on his way to the first down. So while we're waiting for play to resume and you see the first quarter statistics, here's Jim Lampley.
Keith, this is the other side of the two-headed coin that Notre Dame used to flip at quarterback last year. Currently out with a shoulder separation, Joe Montana. Joe, I wonder, is it possible for you and Rick Slager to maintain a friendship through the kind of pressures you two underwent last year?
It sure is. In fact, this summer in camp, we spent most of our time together playing backgammon tournaments. We played over 100 games in less than a week.
How's your arm?
It's a little sore, but I feel the progression coming along. It should be ready in about 2 or 3 weeks, I hope, at the longest.
I think this game means a lot to Slager today, and he got off to a great start.
Sure does. I'm glad to see Rick, is performing well and helps his confidence, and I sure hope that he keeps it up.
Your offense started strong in that first drive, but seems to have slowed up since then. What had you planned to do against Pittsburgh, and what has stopped it?
Well, nothing than we usually have been doing, but it's just, I guess the guys were really keyed up in the beginning, and now, it's getting into the second quarter, and the key's gone down. The same thing with Pitt. They came out, their offense ran first, and they went down and scored. I think, finally they realized that the ball game's going to have to be played at a little slower pace.
You got a brand new offensive line. Is it going to be good enough to get you through the season?
Oh, it sure is. I think so. They say experience, they need experience, but I don't think so. These guys are big and strong and willing to work hard, and I think they're going to do really well this year.
Okay, Joe Montana. We'll be back to resume action right after this.
Good news round the corner, good gear wherever you are. Good gear, good and close to home for good years in your car.
Need new braking power? Get it at Goodyear now for just $40.88. Two-wheel front disc brake job. Our low price, just $40.88. Get yours now.
Oh, yes, there's good news round the corner, good gear wherever you are. Good gear tires and good gear service for good years in your car.
It's me, George Burns. For a guy who used to smoke cigars, even in the shower, I never thought I'd get real smoking satisfaction from a pipe tobacco. But this Sir Walter Raleigh is terrific. Made from all burley tobacco. Mellow, rich, really a quality smoke. Terrific. And the pouch matches my shower curtains.
The quality pipe tobaccos of America.
All right, the story on Jeff Weston. Looks like a leg, whether it's an ankle or a knee, we don't know, but he's leaving the field on a stretcher That's a big loss. In to punt now is Swider for Pittsburgh on 4th down and about 6 to go. Hunter and Harrison deep for Notre Dame. We're even at 7 and 7, and there's a good one. Swider really nailed that one to Hunter, backing up at the 18-yard line. Down he goes, coming downfield in a hurry. Was number 67, Tom Brazosa, to get him. That's a 47-yard punt, so it's a very good kick by Larry Swider, and the Fighting Irish will put it in play 1st down at the 22-yard line. 22. 7-7. All of the fireworks came very early in the opening part of the first quarter. Notre Dame took it 86 yards. Pittsburgh came right back, led by a 62-yard burst for Dorsett to take it 79 yards. Both conversions good. That's where we are. Slager, the quarterback. Back to throw. Gets it off in a hurry. Picked off. It is intercepted by Leroy Felder. And he's down at the 1-yard line by Al Hunter. That was a very bad pass. 26-yard return by Felder, and perhaps the first big break of the ball game.
Well, we've had, he threw the ball out. I think he just overthrew the ball. It just wasn't executed, and it's just one of those things that happens in football. The thing that really bothered me, Keith, of course, is the loss of Weston. Weston is by far the best defensive tackle Notre Dame has, and if it's a season thing, why, it's going to really hurt their defensive performance.
They put the ball down. 1st and goal for the Panthers at the Notre Dame 2-yard line. And Haygood's your quarterback. Inside to Bob Hutton, and he does not get there. Mike Calhoun, number 77, made the stop. Number 79, Ken Dyke, is in there, replacing Jeff Weston at that tackle position. Notre Dame in its goal line defense. 2nd down, goal to go from just inside the 1. Haygood dives. He's in there. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
The other thing about that interception, Keith, that might shake Rick Slager's confidence a little bit, and I certainly hope that it doesn't. He's had a great spring, great fall, and it was just an overthrown pass. Great piece of defensive work and running by Pittsburgh.
He might well have just eaten that ball because Don Parrish was all over him when he delivered it. But he didn't, and the Panthers exercising opportunity, jam it in to take the lead of the ball game with 13:51 to go in the first half. And it's Carson Long for the conversion out of Larry Swider's hold. Dead center.
Carson seems to have got his confidence back.
So the Pittsburgh Panthers go on top of the ball game 14-7 over Notre Dame, and here's Bill Fleming.
Okay, Keith, California and Georgia had quite an intersectional battle today at Athens. At halftime, Cal led 21-12, increased to 24-12 in the 3rd. But then Kevin McLeod, the sophomore of the year in the SEC last year, scored for Georgia to make it 24-19. Matt Robinson connected with Gene Washington on a 33-yard pass to give the Bulldogs a 25-24 lead. And as you can see, they went on to win it 36-24. Okay, Keith.
California opening its season on the road. Their first 3 games, they played Georgia, Arizona State, and Oklahoma. Boy, I tell you, there's just not much more you can say about it.
I'm kind of glad I'm up in the booth, Keith.
All right, the Pittsburgh Panthers now jumping into the lead. Al Hunter and Terry Urick are deep. For Notre Dame as Carson Long prepares to kick it off. For Pittsburgh, the Panthers under Johnny Majors, 1 and 2. This being the 4th year for John Majors. Last year, Pittsburgh won the ball game 34-20 as Tony Dorsett galloped for 3:03. There's Al Hunter, number 25, a junior from Greenville, North Carolina. And standing with him, Terry Urick.
Terry Urick had a great season last year in returning kickoffs. He played on an undefeated, untied, and unscored upon high school team. Keith, how do you like that?
Oh. Carson Long hits it high. It'll go to Urick at the 5. Out to about the 22, maybe the 23, before Jeff Belushi brings him down, number 51. 18 yards on the return. Call it the 23 for Notre Dame as Pittsburgh leads it by a score of 14-7. Slager threw the interception to Felder. He took it to the 2 and took 2 plays to jam it in as Haygood scored. Hunter and Evans are the setbacks. Haynes is wide, and the flanker is McLean. Ball is given to Al Hunter on a power sweep left. He's out to the 25-yard line for 2.
They're getting an awful lot of penetration defensively. Pittsburgh is really coming across the line of scrimmage. We have trouble getting leverage to the corner.
Cecil Johnson, the senior out of Miami, number 60 defensive end, made the stop on Al Hunter. It'll be 2nd down and 8 yards to go for Notre Dame at the 25. 13 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the first half. Slager rolls the throw. Delivers, intercepted. The pass is picked off by Jeff Delaney. He intended it for Ken McAfee, and Delaney just simply made a great play.
That's not going to help Rick's confidence, and he's really a super kid. It's just too bad these things happen in football games. I know Pittsburgh has to be elated with their defensive performance.
Jeff Delaney, the monster man who was covering Ken McAfee, the intended receiver, showed a great pair of hands and hanging on to that bullet.
Notre Dame had been very successful with that pass last year to McAfee.
All right, first down, Pittsburgh. The ball is at the Fighting Irish 33-yard line, and Haygood trying to cash his chips here as he drops back to throw. He throws to Gordon Jones, and Jones is dropped hard at the 22-yard line. Brought down by Ted Bergmeyer, number 18. 11 yards on the play. It should be a Pittsburgh first down.
Same type of pass with Gordon coming underneath, clearing out, faking to the right, and then throwing to the receiver underneath. Same pass that Notre Dame scored a touchdown on, and of course the same pass that Pittsburgh did so well down at the other end of the field. Only different receivers.
They'll bring the chains across the field. The referee called to make sure they had picked up the first down. Jeff Weston, hurt, is out of the ball game. Ken Dyke replacing him. Weston, of course, the most experienced of the defensive tackles on the Irish squad. And you see the indication the play was good for the first. 12:45 to go in the first half. And Pittsburgh with a 14-7 lead, very much in position here to get another one. Willie Taylor flanks to the right side, number 29 for Pittsburgh. Hutton and Dorsett. Elliott Walker with a sore ankle. Not played yet. Here's Dorsett. And Tony takes it to the 15-yard line. 7 yards on the play. Great block from Hutton and a good one from Joe Stone, the right tackle, number 73.
It's another thing that makes that veer so difficult. You think you're going to run the veer or the option play, and here they come with a regular, what we used to call a pitch sweep. Just pitch the ball out and let him run, and you're looking for the options down the line, and they get leverage on you.
Tony Dorsett, 8 carries and 94 yards already. 94. Second down. Short 4. Dorsett coming the other way. Got the first down. And he's down to the goal line. He stopped just short of it. Tony Dorsett, about 10 pounds heavier than a year ago, showing a little more muscle as he just literally rams it to the goal line.
Tom Eastman going into the ball game. Down from Elkhart.
Goal line defense digging in now on first down and goal to go. The ball a little less than a yard away. Haygood dive. Got it. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
Well, Keith, Dorsett's got over 100 yards and 9 carries, and it's still 11 minutes to go in this, 11:40 to go in this quarter.
And the Pittsburgh Panthers given an opportunity of cash both of them and jump to a 20-7 lead. They took that one 32 yards in 4 plays, and Carson Long is in for the try. It is good. 11 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the first half, and Pittsburgh now leads Notre Dame 21-7.
Death Valley, the hottest place in America. 3 1976 Chevrolet Vegas equipped with a new Durabuilt engine recently ran 60,000 miles each through country like this.
In 180,000 total miles, the only engine part replaced other than maintenance items was one timing belt. 1976 Chevy Vega Durabuilt engine, built to take it. When you want to stay first, you design cars to last.
Eddie Arcaro for Color Track from RCA.
These racing silks are royal blue, red, and Kelly green. RCA wanted me to tell you the right colors because getting the color right is what their exclusive Color Track system is all about. It's a remarkable development that actually adjusts color and keeps it on track.
Before you see the Color Track system grabs it, aligns it, defines it, sharpens it, tones it, and locks the color on track.
RCA is making television better and better.
Next Saturday, an outstanding schedule of NCAA regional football action headlined by the Ohio State-Penn State game. Woody Hayes Buckeyes against Joe Paterno and the Nittany Lions. That's NCAA football next Saturday on ABC.
The Pittsburgh Panthers jumping out to a big lead over the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame, 21-7. And this capacity crowd is kind of quiet right now, I'll tell you, and it's going to be a matter of whether or not Rick Slager can hitch up his britches and get the Irish offense moving here.
Well, it has to be a psychological letdown to the ball club. 2 errors, yet you have to give credit to that Pittsburgh team. They did a great job in the interceptions. They were in the right place at the right time.
That's right. And they're getting, as you noted, good defensive penetration. Long kicks it off for the Panthers. He nailed it. There'll be no return on that one. All right, the story on Jeff Weston, defensive tackle for the Irish. Here's Jim.
Major problems for Notre Dame, both on and off the field. Jeff Weston has torn 2 ligaments. He is out for the season. And you got to wonder, after playing only less than a half, whether they'll try to get him another year of eligibility. He led the Irish in tackles a year ago, and they will miss him badly. Keith?
All right, Rick Slager now in to see what he can see and do, as the Fighting Irish have tumbled to 14 points behind here. Pittsburgh, very impressive. Evans is the lone back as Hunter gets up into a slot. McLean coming across, they go to the fullback, Evans, and there isn't much there as he moves it from the 20 to the 22-yard line. Arnie Weatherman, number 59, leading the tacklers for the Panthers.
Keith, that's a real loss to Notre Dame's defense, the loss of Jeff Weston. He's a super football player. He did have his day in the sun here last year against Navy. He intercepted a pass when in a close game. And
the key to whether or not this is going to remain a contest is whether or not Notre Dame can get something going offensively. As they give it to Evans again, and he runs it out to the 26-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and 4. 3rd and 4. Pittsburgh now with a 21-7 lead. They're able to gamble a little bit more on their defensive unit. They can take a few chances.
You know, they got a 14-point spread up there. This is a big first down for Notre Dame. If they can get it, they can maintain possession. Otherwise, they have to yield it to Pittsburgh, and they've been moving it.
Ten minutes and 35 seconds to go, first half. Slager gives it off, draws it away to Evans, and Evans running hard, banging it up to the 30-yard line. It looks like he's got a first down.
Good running by Evans there. Looked like Pittsburgh had him, and he squeezed out that first down. Very impressive back, really.
Ed Wilimowski was the man that finally wrestled him down, but not before Evans had put it across the 30-yard line for the first down. Jerome is about 212 pounds, a sophomore from East St. Louis, Illinois. He's picked up 38 yards so far, and all of it the hard way. 5-man front now for the Panthers. Slager gives to Hunter. Hunter cuts it back, and he's out to the 34 for 4 yards.
One of the changes they made this year, Keith, was that last year both McLean and Hunter were wing backs, and this year McLean is the wing back on all plays, and Hunter is the running back. And the only plays that McLean runs is the misdirection plays.
Weatherington calling the defensive signals for Pittsburgh. They're given to him from the sidelines. And on 2nd down and 6, McLean is wide left, Haynes wide right. Give it to Evans, and he loses yardage on the play. Number 91, Romano's on the top of the stack. On the bottom of the stack, it is Wilimowski, 80, and Parrish, 68. Just absolutely nothing there that time.
Pittsburgh defense, all of them, about 3 interior men got penetration. The defensive unit appears to be very well prepared.
Well, the nose of the ball is put down just about the line of scrimmage. They really slammed the door on Heavens that time. 3rd down and 6. Slager to throw. Goes all the way over the head of McLean. McLean was covered like a blanket. James Wilson was right there. He looked down at McAfee and couldn't find McAfee. And so Slager fails to move the football for Notre Dame. And perhaps I shouldn't say Slager fails to move the football, because the Pittsburgh defense now is really steaming.
Well, you can see that Rick has lost his confidence a little bit. Of course, he wasn't going to throw that 3rd interception and just overthrew it. The backup people, of course, Montana is out, and Gary Forestack will be the next guy, I think, to replace him. And he's a pretty good passer, pretty good thrower, not a great runner.
Ball is loose.
There's the break.
Jordan fumbles the ball. He just touched it. 41-yard punt by Restic. And Ernie Hughes was right there to pounce on the football. Johnny Majors now is steaming. As Gordon Jones, looking for some room to run, probably started looking for his hold too soon. And it slipped right through his fingers. Bounced away from him, and no doubt about it, there were blue shirts all over the place.
Looked like a knuckleball coming down there. Very tough to handle, and it's understandable.
1st down, Notre Dame, Pittsburgh, 23-yard line. Here's Hunter on a sweep. No, it is kept by Slager, and he is sacked by Cecil Johnson. Well, he fooled me, but he sure didn't fool Cecil, did he?
He fooled me, too.
13-yard loss on the play. And it's a tough day for Mr. Slager. 8 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the first half. And a big, big defensive play by Cecil Johnson. Those two defensive ends for Pittsburgh have been impressive. Notre Dame's defensive ends, Fry and Browner, they're more publicized, but the folks from the other side are dominating the ball game. Slager rolls the throw, throws it to McAfee. Kid's got it, hit by 2 men. But he hangs on. Felder, number 37, and Jury, 31. Both hit him, but he's a big horse at 6'4", 250.
That'll help Rick Slager. Here comes Ken McAfee crossing the field, and Rick threw it right between 2 defenders. Right, there's 3 of them there. That'll get his confidence back a little bit. That was very important to Slager, a quarterback that has just thrown 2 interceptions.
He's 4 out of 10 for 63 yards so far with the 2 interceptions. It is 3rd down and about 16 yards to go. Ball is back on the 27. He's going deep. It is incomplete. Jury, Bob Jury, number 31, slapping the ball away from number 80 of Notre Dame, Kelleher.
Keith, that was a pretty well thrown pass and pretty well defensed. You watch Rick goes back into the pocket here and leads very well into the left corner, but you can see there a very fine defensive play.
Reeve is out now for the field goal try. It'll be a 44-yarder. He'll hit it from the 34-yard line out of Slager's hold. 44-yarder. Missed it.
See, that looked good from up here, didn't it? Must have been just to the left.
Just hooked a little bit. And so Pittsburgh holds and continues to lead at 21-7, and here's Bill.
All right, let's take a rundown now of the teams in the Big Ten this afternoon. Ohio State defeating Michigan State. Michigan over Wisconsin. This was the most points scored against a Michigan team since 1969. Minnesota beat Indiana. Illinois over Iowa. Purdue over Northwestern. And in one game out of the conference, Oklahoma 24, Vanderbilt 3. Okay, Keith.
Pittsburgh to the attack.
We at Money can help. A money representative can explain the
Gordon Jones is to the left. Willie Taylor to the right.
Here is a handoff. Dorsett running straight out in the sprinter's block, thrusts ahead and gets outside the 20 to the 24-yard line. And there is a gain on the play of 3 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Randy Harrison, the free safety in the right end. Willie Fry were on the stop for Notre Dame. Again, Pitt goes from a pro set, wide receivers to either side on 2nd down and 6. Here is a handoff. Bob Hutton, the fullback, gets it in the right side and tries the left side of the Notre Dame defense for a couple of yards. It'll be 2nd down and 4. He got 2. Ken Dyke, who's come in to replace injured Jeff Weston, who left the field on a stretcher with a knee injury or an ankle injury early in the 2nd quarter, made the stop.
We have seen Elliott Walker, the first-string fullback, play this afternoon, but he does have a sprained ankle incurred on August 30th, so Hutton will be in there quite a bit.
20 to play in the first half, and Pittsburgh leads the game 21-7 after trailing 7-0. Dorsett gets the ball, tries to go wide. He's knocked down for no gain, and Pitt will have to punt. Dorsett took the pitch back, started a stutter step at the Notre Dame defense and tried to turn outside, and they quickly grabbed him. Goal at the middle, linebacker got him along with Steve Heimkreider and Ross Browner. Wider is standing back at his 12-yard line, gets a low snap, fields it, puts the ball downfield on a low trajectory, picked up by Harrison of the Notre Dame 37, running straight ahead. He's across the 45, turns to the outside, gets across the 50, and is finally knocked out of bounds at the Pitt 45-yard line. It's 1st down and 10 for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish at the 45-yard line of Pittsburgh. Notre Dame moving left to right in gold and blue. Handoff goes to Evans, getting a lot of work. He dives into the right side of the Pitt defense, gets ahead for 2 or 3 yards. It is now 2nd down and 8. Plager pitches back with the ball as Evans turns outside inside the 40 and out of bounds at the 35, very close to a 1st down. Nice execution by the quarterback, Plager. Faked to one back, then pitched back to Evans, who darted inside and then swept to the outside. Turned ahead, was knocked out of bounds by Bob Jury at the Pitt 35. It is a 1st down for Notre Dame.
And this is the kind of play that will gain for Notre Dame this afternoon, the kind of play that will set the Pittsburgh defense in motion in one direction, and then they will go in another. And it worked for Notre Dame on that play as they've done it on the 35.
For the most part, but moving well against the Pitt defense. Running the ball consecutively now for the 1st down. Here is the handoff. Evans busts off the right side and dives ahead for 5 more. Good blocking by the big tackle McDaniels on the right side, 272-pound sophomore. And he was knocked down by Dan Zelahy. A gain of 5. Jerome Evans has already carried the ball 15 times for 62 yards.
McDaniels worked well on the right side of that line with Ernie Hughes on that last play. They both did the job.
So it is 2nd and a long 5 for Notre Dame. Here is a handoff. Hunter turns wide to the left, breaks up field, gets inside the 25 and down to the 23. It's the 1st down for Notre Dame. Our running by the Notre Dame offense are running the ball right at Pitt, and with success now as the Irish trailing by 2 touchdowns. Keep the offense going and try to get back in the game.
Pulling guard on the play was Ernie Hughes, coming around from the right side. Moved the linebacker out when he got around the end in front of the ball carrier. He's a former defensive player in his freshman year. He's now a junior.
Notre Dame breaks the huddle. 1st and 10 at the Pitt 23. Plager, hands off. Evans, the fullback, has the ball. He is hit. He tries to move straight into the Pitt line. Spins off his knockdown at the 21. He gained just over a yard. It'll be 2nd down, a long 8. On the stop was Arnie Weatherington for Pitt. 2nd and a long 8. Here's Plager rolling out to his right. Puts the ball up. It is tipped. Knocked down. Making the play for Pittsburgh was Ed Wilimowski, one of their co-captains. Beautifully done by Wilimowski. He was trying to hem in the quarterback Flavor. Saw him throw and up in the air and knocked the ball down. That'll bring up 3rd and a long 8. The position. He's a down lineman at the left end, but he moves out so quickly. Now Plager dropping the throw on 3rd down. Here is a big rush against him, and Plager is knocked down at the Pitt 37-yard line. Coming through to make the play for Pittsburgh was Al Romano, the middle guard. Plager set up to throw the ball, and just as he planted his feet, Romano was there to knock him down. They're going to spot him at the Pitt 36-yard line. The loss of 15 yards, and Notre Dame sends its punting unit out.
Notre Dame had the opportunity. They had the field position on the 45, start, penetrate, but there Romano from the Pittsburgh defense came up with a big play, just like on the last series. Cecil Johnson came through with a big play for the Pittsburgh defense. Right now, looking at the flags, the wind is not a factor.
It was earlier. Here's the snap, the set down. He hits the ball very hard, very deep. It's going to be long enough, but it is good. It is good. It dropped over the crossbar. David Reeve of Notre Dame, a sophomore from Bloomington, Indiana, hits a 53-yard field goal.
Well, they didn't get the touchdown on that last opportunity when they got the good field position, but thanks to Reeve, they came up with 3 points. Anytime you get it inside the 50, you have to come up with something. Again, in 1976, Mutual brings you the best in football. There's Notre Dame action on Saturday. The National Football League big game Sunday afternoon.
David Reeve has the ball teed up at his 40 to our left. He's running up to it. He hits it, a hard, long kick. Into the end zone, 2 yards deep. Haygood fields it there and takes it out across the 10. Moves out across the 20. And Haygood is hemmed in and knocked down to the 23. Let's see what Pitt does now. It's an 11-point lead, and the clock showing 2:53 to play in the second quarter. Haygood rolls out to his right, pitches back to Dorsett. He's going to be knocked down way back at the 14-yard line. Jim Browner, the strong safety who is keying on Dorsett, came up. Dorsett made his cut, and Browner was there at 222 pounds to drill him head on. So there's a loss on the play of about 8 yards is the official as the ball is set down just outside the Pitt 15. Here is Haygood handing off. With the ball is Elliott Walker, the fullback, and he is knocked down for little or no gain. Notre Dame calls another timeout as they're looking now to stop the clock and get the football back before the second quarter comes to an end. 10 left to go in the first half. It is 3rd and 17 for Pitt. Dorsett runs off tackle. Notre Dame is there to hit him and knock him down. A gain of only a yard. And now Pitt will have to punt the ball. With 2:04 left to play, and again Notre Dame calls a timeout to conserve as much time as they can when they get the ball back. Wider is standing back inside his 5-yard line. Notre Dame mounting a 9-man rush. 2 men are back. Here is the punt. A big, almost blocked. They just got it away. Alphonse Hunter signals for a fair catch, which stops the clock at the Notre Dame 45. Now, Dan Kelleher is wide to the right. He was the guy that got deep and open earlier in the game, but they did not get the ball to him. Here's a pass to Kelleher downfield. He catches the ball. Now he drops it at the 32. He had the ball at his fingertips, came down and lost it. Bob Jury was there. Kelleher with a diving had the ball in both hands, and Jury hit him on the way down.
It would have been almost impossible had Keller held on to that ball because Jury hit him right in the middle at the time Kelleher was trying to secure the ball. For a moment, it looked like miraculously he was going to hold on to it, but eventually coughed it up.
So it is now 2nd down and 10 for Notre Dame. Slager gets away from the rush, moves straight ahead, loses the football. It is free. It is recovered. Let's see who's got it at the Pitt 42-yard line. A Pitt Panther was on it, and Notre Dame Fighting Irish guard Ernie Hughes is the man who came up with it. Clock is running. 1:35 to go. Notre Dame going into a line without a huddle now. Trailing in the game 21-10. Kelleher goes wide to the left. It is 3rd down and 2 for Notre Dame, but time is the key element now. 1:24 on the clock running in the second quarter. Slager looks, throws it down, patted on the sideline, out of bounds. He stops the clock. Throws it well over the head of Mark McLean, intended to stop the clock, and Notre Dame now will have a 4th down and 2. It is Chris Haynes going wide to the right. Slager hands off to Hunter. He runs the ball as the penalty marker goes down. Apparently Notre Dame not going to put it up, looking to catch the Pitt defense in the pass prevent and try to run the ball at him up the middle. The penalty marker goes down. We have an illegal procedure against Notre Dame. Al Hunter was knocked down at the line of scrimmage, the 46-yard line of Pittsburgh. So Notre Dame fails in the 3rd down try, and now it'll be a punting situation for the Irish with 1:14 left to go in the first half.
Pittsburgh has the ball right now. The Notre Dame defense is on the field.
Has the ball at their 46-yard line, leading 21-10. Dropping to throw is Haygood, looking way down. He puts the ball up. He's hit just as he does. It's incomplete. He was hit in hard by Mike Calhoun, the big sophomore defensive tackle, number 77. That stops the clock with 1:09 to play in the first half. Wide to the right goes Taylor. Wide to the left goes Gordon Jones. 2nd down and 10. Pitt. Haygood dropping to throw. Oh, he's hit, gets the ball away, and Dorsett dropped it over the middle. Haygood got the ball away, and just as he did, Ross Browner drilled him. But he still got the ball right on target to Tony Dorsett, who couldn't hold on over the middle. So it'll now be 3rd down and 10 for Pitt at the Panthers' 46-yard line. Let's see what Pitt's Bob Haygood does. 1:05 to play in the first half. He's going to drop the throw again. Here's the rush. He puts it up. Man is open. His tight end Corbett. And Corbett gets the first down for Pittsburgh, and the Panthers call a timeout. Right over the middle was Jim Corbett down at the Notre Dame 37-yard line.
Jim Corbett is the favorite receiver of Haygood. He was the leading pass receiver on the Pittsburgh team last year, where Carson Long can hit it accurately.
They indeed are. Pitt leading 21-10. Haygood, a long count. He's dropping the throw, rolls out to his right, has some time, fires over the middle. It's a tip ball, incomplete. Joe Resnick in the game as the free safety was way back. The ball just went over his outstretched hands after it caromed off the would-be receiver, Willie Taylor.
Resnick has made a remarkable transition. He was an offensive quarterback and, of course, has been a punter for Notre Dame and has moved over to the defense to play the safety position.
Pitt breaks the huddle, wide receivers to either side. Haygood drops the throw. Looking over the middle, he puts the ball up. Corbett is open inside the 20, inside the 15. He's down to the 14-yard line. And Pitt stops the clock with 45 seconds to play. A really brilliantly executed drive by Pittsburgh.
They got Corbett behind the linebackers and into the seams of the zone and laid the ball right into his hands. Nobody was around him when he made the catch. Same play that they had before that gained them some crucial yardage to put him in good position up around the 30-yard line.
Pitt is quickly out of the huddle. 31 seconds to go. Haygood pitches back to Dorsett. Dorsett gets inside the 10, inside the 5, and fumbles the ball out of bounds. About a foot from the Notre Dame goal line. So actually it was resulting in a gain for Pittsburgh. Dorsett fumbled the ball at the 5. Let's see what they're ruling. It might be a touchback. He fumbled into the end zone. That apparently is the case. Dorsett's ball went into the end zone on the fumble, which is a touchback, and Notre Dame gets the ball. So Notre Dame now and all of will probably try to just run out the clock. And that they do as Slager takes the snap, goes up the middle, and that'll be the final play of the first half.
Well, that's the end of the first half with a score, Pittsburgh 21, Notre Dame 10. Now this for Midland. Reeves standing on the 30-yard line now, raises his hand, and is about to approach the ball, and we are about to begin the second half of play with a score 21-10. Reeves looks down the field now, waits for the sign from the official, gets it, approaches the ball. Here comes the kick, a high towering kick going into the end zone, taken by Haygood. He puts one knee down to the end zone, and Pittsburgh will take it out on the 20-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go. And Notre Dame will come out now and play on defense against the Pittsburgh Panthers, who will be aligned offensively. It's going to be Elliott Walker, the 4-4 sprinter, in the 40-yard dash. Haygood calls signals. Unbalanced line to the right. Haygood has it. Gives it off to Walker. Walker hits up off the right guard. Moves up for a couple of yards and manages to ram up to about the 23-yard line. And he's dropped from the linebacker spot by Steve Heinfrieder, the 6'2", 221-pound linebacker, the sophomore, who likes to play on that outside spot because he likes the use of his agility and quickness. In the third quarter of play, Pittsburgh leading 21-10. Haygood has it. Tries the option. He's grabbed in the backfield and thrown down by Ken Dyke coming in from his defensive tackle spot. He grabs him crashing through and throws him on the 21-yard line. They move it to about the 22-yard line, and Pittsburgh will go back in the huddle now with yards to go, some 8 to go now. Third down, 8 yards to go. 14:26 to go in the second quarter with a score 21-10. Out of the rear tee behind the quarterback, Haygood. Haygood calling a signal. He has it. Rolls left. Cocks the arm. He throws, looking for the tight end. Incomplete on the 30-yard line. Corbett stretched forward, couldn't grab it. Doug Becker was all over him from his linebacker spot. And so it's an incomplete forward pass, and we have fourth down, 8 yards to go. And Pittsburgh will have to punt. The Pittsburgh Panthers will have to punt with Larry Swider coming in, punting. Randy Harrison is back to retrieve for Notre Dame, along with Al Hunter. Al Hunter on the near side. Here comes Swider's kick. It's a booming kick, a towering spiral, sending Hunter back to the 27-yard line. He drops it, falls on it on the 26, and Notre Dame takes over on the far hash mark on the 26-yard line. Notre Dame will have first down, 10 yards to go. Coming into the Notre Dame backfield is Mark McLean. He'll be at one halfback at the flanker wingback position. Slager will be at quarterback. Unbalanced line right, first down on the 25-yard line for Notre Dame. They move it up to the 25. Slager has the ball, gives off to his fullback, rams up the middle, bounces off, goes to the outside, 25, up to the 28, 29-yard line, rolls down on the 29-yard line. Jerome Evans running for Notre Dame, and making a stop for Pittsburgh is the end, Ed Wilimowski, who moves to the outside. The ball will be placed on about the 30-yard line, actually just shy of the 30-yard line marker. It'll be second down, 7 yards to go. Slager bends over his center, Huffman, calling signal. Looks over the defense. Pittsburgh poised, six-man line. Slager rolls right. Slager looks for a receiver. Cocks the arm, throws, got his man. Evans on the 30, 35, knocks out of bounds on about the 37-yard line near side of the field. Wilimowski trailing the play. Caught up with him and threw him out of bounds at about the 37. So Notre Dame moves for first down yardage. The Irish moving for a first down, and they come with their offense cranked up here in the third quarter of play. John Cricky has a little bit of laryngitis. Notre Dame comes out of the huddle. Calling signals is Slager. Moving to the wingback spot is McLean. The give goes to Evans. He hits up off left tackle to the 45. Dropped on about the 47-yard line. They say his knee touched on the 45. James Kramer made the trip up for the Pittsburgh Panthers. Kramer, an ex-Ohio State football player, transferred to Pittsburgh, one of those quick linebackers on the Pittsburgh team. He's into the secondary before they know it. Slager calling signals now for Notre Dame. Has the ball, pitches back to Evans, 40, 45, hit on the 45-yard line, tries to break out of that tackle by Wilson, and sprawls ahead to about the 48-yard line, dropped on the 48. And so Notre Dame moves for more yardage, moving around the left side of the Pittsburgh defense. 12:23 to go in the quarter. It's going to be third down, 1 yard to go coming up for Notre Dame. And the line of scrimmage will be the 48-yard line. Big third down play for Notre Dame. Slager looks over the Pittsburgh defense. Nose guard Romano looking to the center's eye. Slager has to give up to Evans off left tackle. 50, 49, got his first down. Don Parrish makes the stop, but Evans moves for the first down to the 49-yard line. Notre Dame moves to another first down in this drive. Pat, there was a question mark on Monday whether Evans was going to be ready for this ball game. Somebody stepped on his foot last Saturday in the scrimmage. Notre Dame moving from our left to our right. Slager has the ball. Slager gives off to McLean. To Hunter. Hunter to the 45. The 40. Round the right side. Misdirection. 39-yard line. Dropped on the 39-yard line by Jeff Delaney, the monster back who came over reacting to the play. But Notre Dame moves for more yardage down to the 39. It looks like in this first drive here in the first half at least, Notre Dame has gotten its offense together. Moving with misdirection plays. Breaking Evans for short gains. And now Hunter going for one. Notre Dame moving down now to about the 39-yard line. They bring the yard markers all the way across the field to measure for a first down for the big touchdown. Let's see what he comes up with. He's calling signals. Slager sneaks over the left side. He's down to the 37-yard line and dropped on the 37 by Al Romano, the middle guard. But Notre Dame gets its first down on the 37-yard line. 11-11 to go. Notre Dame behind 21-10. But Notre Dame coming out of the chute here in the third quarter has come roaring back. Center looking at the Pittsburgh defense. Pittsburgh in a five-man line, and breaking off sides is Ernie Hughes for Notre Dame. On the right side of the line, whistles blow, flags go in the air, and Notre Dame is going to be assessed 5 yards. Looks at that Pitt defense, has the ball, rolls out to the right. He's at the 45, pitches back to Hunter. Hunter loses the ball, ends a fumble on the 44-yard line, and recovering for Pittsburgh is going to be Big Ernie, let's see, it's going to be Wetherington, the linebacker. He grabbed it, and so Notre Dame's drive is blunted on about the 44-yard line as Pittsburgh picks up the ball, gets it, and gains control, and thus the Notre Dame drive is stopped. Notre Dame came out, took the ball right out of the third quarter after the kickoff, and by a series of ground moves, a good ground attack, based mostly on misdirection plays, moved well up the field but then fumbled. There's a timeout with the score Pittsburgh 21, Notre Dame 10. Good field position for the Panthers as Haygood calls signals. Haygood looks over the Notre Dame defense. He has it. Rolls out to the right. Throws downfield. Corbett has it on the 49. He's to the 45. Dropped on the 43-yard line by Steve Heinfrieder. Corbett, the favorite receiver of Haygood, grabbed it and rolled for yardage down to the Notre Dame 43-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go for Pittsburgh. 4 receptions for Corbett. Coming out of the huddle, Haygood along with the Pittsburgh Panther team. Strong side of the line is left. Haygood has it. Drops back to pass. Pops the arm. Sees the receiver. Throws down the left side for Jones. Incomplete on the 10-yard line. Near side of the field as Jones couldn't reach the ball. Overthrew him. We pause briefly for station identification. This is Mutual, your news and information station. Elliott, Walker, and Dorsett in the backfield. Calling signals Haygood. Haygood back. Looking for somebody to throw to. Can't find it. Chased by Browner on the 40-yard line. Browner has him. Throws him down on the 42. Haygood couldn't get away. Fry was there. And so was Browner. And they drop him on the 42-yard line. So Pittsburgh is thrown back into its own territory after a beautiful pass to Corbett put them up into the Notre Dame side of things. But now a big play by Browner and Fry puts it back into Pittsburgh territory, a loss of some 15 yards. But there's a discussion on the field. That could be a face mask penalty. The guy who made the play, if it holds up, was Becker. He came on the dog right over top of the center, and they had to pick him up, and the two ends came free to the quarterback, but Notre Dame's going to get hit with 15, and it could be a face mask. The ball will move down now after the assessment for the penalty to the 42-yard line, and that appears to be exactly what it was. Here's Haygood, the quarterback. Haygood has it. Drops back to pass. Straight back on the 50. Can't find anybody. He's mobbed by Notre Dame. Calhoun is there. Grabs him around the waist and spins him down on the Pittsburgh 48-yard line. The ball will be in the middle of the field. They put it back on about the 50, just inside the Notre Dame end. Calhoun made the big play. Heinfrieder came in on the blitz, along with Willie Fry from his right defensive end position. The ball will be on the 50. Big play by Notre Dame's defense. Makes it 4th down, 17 to go. So Notre Dame stops Pitt. Slider back to punt for Pittsburgh on about the 36-yard line. Extends his hand, has the ball. Here comes the punt. It's a spiral, heading downfield, moving down to Hunter. He has it, drops it on the 4, falls on it on the 5-yard line, and Notre Dame will take over on the 5. First down, 10 yards to go. No excuse intended, Pat, but there's that ball coming out of the shade into the sunlight with Hunter under it. Dropped the ball on the 5, and the Irish were fortunate that they came up with it. We've got a Pitt kid stretched out on the 1-yard line. With the score 21 to 10 in favor of Pitt, there's a timeout on the field, and now this for Regency. Slager calls signals. Alone with him in the backfield is Heavens. Slager has it, gives off to Heavens, heading off right tackle up to the 6, the 7, the 9-yard line, and dropped on the 9-yard line by Wilson and James Kramer, who has been very, very active from his linebacker spot. Kramer originally started out at Ohio State and transferred over to Pittsburgh. Good hole opened up on the right side by McDaniel, who's looked good at tackle. Behind him, Hunter and Heavens. Heavens has it off right tackle, gets a hole, he's to the 10, up to the 14, hits the 15-yard line, and knocked back to about the 13-yard line by a host of Pittsburgh players. Wilson's there, Delaney is there on the tackle. There are several others, including Kramer and Cecil Johnson, the end, who got over on the play, sliding back. About 4 men met him, and they put the ball just shy of the 15-yard line. Slager has him out of the huddle. Balanced line. Slager has it. Puts his head down. Burrows over left tackle up to about the 16-yard line. He might have that first down. It all depends where the officials put the ball. They signal first down. 10 yards to go for Notre Dame. Trailing by 11 points. Pitt leads 21 to 10. 7:51 to go. Third quarter of this game. Slager calls those signals now. Bends over the center. He has it. Gives off. Hitting the middle of the line as Heavens moves up to about the 20-yard line. We're pleased to have Tom Denham, the sports director of WNDU, at our Mutual Sports microphone. He is filling in for Don Crickey, who unfortunately is having some trouble with a head cold. Tom, we're sorry to lose Don temporarily, but it's real nice to have you so ably step in to his shoes, and we're having pleasure talking about football with you this afternoon on Mutual. It's a pleasure to be with you, Pat. The line of scrimmage will be the 11-yard line. It'll be first down and 15 yards to go. Penalty in this area of the field is something that really hurts you. Calling signals is Slager. Slager has it. Slager gives off to Hunter. Hunter around the right side. He's to the 11, to the 12, and knocked back by Parrish to about the 5-yard line. Might have gotten himself a yard on the play. Wilson also assisting on the tackle. Big Don Parrish. He runs about a 4.840, and he is a big man. Goes about 248 pounds. A lot of man. The 13. It'll be second down and 12 yards to go. Let's see what plays Slager selects. He's got a balanced line using two tight ends. Slager looks over that defense, calls the signal. He gives off to Evans. Evans over left tackle. Busts his way up to about the 17-yard line, and Arnie Weatherington is there to stop him. But they're in very dangerous territory. Notre Dame now against the 5-man Pittsburgh line. Slager rolls out left, looking for a pass receiver, across the arm of the 10. Long heave downfield, incomplete on the Pittsburgh 45. The pass intended for Notre Dame's Chris Haynes, and on defense, Bob Jury had him all the way on the play. The ball was overthrown. So it's a punting situation, and we're going to see Joe Restic come in now for Notre Dame. Back on about the 2-yard line is Restic. Extends his hands, ready to kick. Wind is no factor here. It is calm at the present time. Low wobbly kick to Jones. Has it on the 46. Moving left side. Breaks one tackle. Moves to the 50-yard line. Fires side and dropped on the 50-yard line. Calling signals. Quarterback Haygood. Haygood has the ball. Gives off to Tony Dorsett. He keeps it himself. Moves out the outside. Run right side. 45, 40, 35-yard line. Moves down to about the 35. They say his knee touched on the 37-yard line, and Jim Browner made the stop for Notre Dame on the far side of the field. They're going to spot it on about the 37-yard line, far hash mark, and Haygood on the option play makes the big move, makes the right fakes as they went for Dorsett, and they move for yardage. Pat, we'd like to welcome a couple of stations, Fairbanks, Alaska, KIAK, and KFE in Casa Grande, Arizona. Haygood has it, tries the option play again, then finally gives off to Dorsett, and Dorsett is dropped on about the 37-yard line, moving around the right side of his line, and making the stop for Notre Dame is Ken Dyke, who has played pretty well, coming in for Jeff Weston, who was injured earlier. It looked like Jeff had a leg injury. We don't know how serious it is. If we hear anything, we'll pass it along to you. Third quarter, 4:44 to go. Calling signals is Haygood. He has it. Drops back, rolls to his left, cocks the arm, throws, completes the pass on the 32-yard line, and rolled out of bounds is Gordon Jones. He is knocked out of bounds. It's ligament that has bothered Weston. Jones is knocked out of bounds on about the 30-yard line. Jim Browner makes the stop from his strong safety spot. Browner started last year as a fullback, moved over to strong safety this year, and has looked good this afternoon. They're going to bring it back, Pat. Procedure, I believe, against Pittsburgh, so it comes back upfield 5 yards. Overall, Notre Dame has had the breaks today. They've recovered a fumbled punt. We're in excellent position. To our left, breaks the huddle. They're in the shadowed part of the field. Strong side of the line is left. Haygood back to pass. Stops, stands on the 49. He's grabbed to the backfield. Fumble. The fumble recovered by Notre Dame on the 44. Bob Golick made the tackle that loosened the ball from Haygood, and picking it up for Notre Dame is Ross Browner, who has been Johnny on the spot for Notre Dame all afternoon. And Notre Dame has the ball on the 44-yard line on the far hash mark in Pittsburgh territory. A big play for the Irish. Obviously, some adjustments made at halftime. The Notre Dame linebackers have been coming throughout the third quarter. First time Kreider, then Becker, that time Golick. He made the play as Pat called it for you. Another break for the Irish. Irish out of the huddle. Slager bends over the center. Has the ball. Gives out to Hunter. Met in the backfield at the 45 and driven back past the 50-yard line. Coming in for the Pittsburgh Panthers is big Randy Holloway, who put the wraps around Hunter around the shoulders and drove him back. Now let's see where they spot the ball. There's going to be a face mask violation against Notre Dame, and this is going to hurt them. Penalties have hurt the Irish here in the second half. In the first drive that they had earlier, penalties were very crucial to them. Notre Dame out of the huddle. Line of scrimmage 39. 25 yards to go. First down. Slager with the ball. Rolls right. Can't find anybody. Tries to run. 40. 41 up to the 44-yard line and wrapped up on the 41-yard line by the big middle guard. That would be Romano. He was on the play, and he was assisted by Cecil Johnson. Johnson seems to be everywhere this afternoon. The Pitt coaching staff obviously has done an excellent job of scouting Notre Dame. They seem to know just when Slager's going to go straight back or when he's going to roll. And when he goes straight back, the middle guys come, and they put the heat on him that time. 2nd and 12. Let's make it 2nd and 22 as Slager goes back to pass. Big rush, gets away from it, sets himself, finally throws, completes the pass, and it's dropped, knocked away from the receiver. And trying to get that ball for Notre Dame was Dan Kelleher, but it was knocked away from him on a fine defensive play by the linebacker, Arnie Wetherington of Pittsburgh, on about the 45-yard line, far side of the field. The action took place around the far hash mark. Actually, there were about 3 Pittsburgh players in the area. Strong side of the line is right. Slager calls signals. Slager has it. Slager rolls left. Now, cocks the arm, throws up the middle for Kelleher, has it knocked out of his hand as he felled it on about the 35-yard line. Making a savage hit for Pittsburgh is Jeff Delaney, the strong safety, the monster, who came in and made the big play again for Pittsburgh's defense, which has been so prominent here this afternoon. I don't know whether we have 4 lazy boys around or not, but the Pitt secondary, all 4 guys playing super football this afternoon. 3:23 to go in the third quarter. 21-10 in favor of Pitt over Notre Dame. 4th down, 22 to go. Resnick back to punt. He's on the 30-yard line. Here comes the kick, a low wobbling kick, going back to Jones on the 16. Has it, moves straight upfield, hit on the 21, knocked back to the 20, and falls on the 19-yard line. As he's hit by a host of Notre Dame players, a flag goes down, and there might be a penalty. Coming in for Notre Dame, the right side had moved up to about the 39-yard line, picked up 4 yards, so it's going to be 2nd down 6 for the Pitt Panthers. Jim Denon has joined us. He's going to help me doing the color part of the broadcast. I stepped in for Don Cricky, who has come down with a bit of laryngitis. Tom Denon helping me out on the color side, and calling signals is Haygood. Haygood gives off to Walker. Walker hits into the line off the left side, and he moves up to about the 45-yard line. And making the stop for Notre Dame is Harrison from his backfield spot from the safety position, coming up and making the tackle. They're going to put it on about the 46-yard line, and it'll be a 1st down, 10 yards to go for Pittsburgh as they advance the ball. Cavanaugh is supposed to be the superior passer. Strong side is left. Cavanaugh back. He's on the 39. Cocks the arm, throws, completes it on the 50-yard line, and dropped on the 50-yard line is Randy Rudishan of the Pittsburgh team on the 50. Caught it on a short slant-in pattern and just got by the defensive back, and it'll be on the 50. Strong side of the line is right, and Cavanaugh calls the signals. Cavanaugh has it. Cavanaugh keeps, pitches out now. It goes to Walker. Walker puts his head down, hits past the 50 around the left side, down to the 49-yard line, and making the stop for Notre Dame is Randy Harrison, coming up from his free safety spot. Pat, you know, Dorsett's getting all the ink, obviously, but talking to John Major yesterday afternoon out here at the stadium when the Panthers were working out, he made quite a point of saying we're very deep. We have 2 or 3 good halfbacks. We have 2 or 3 good quarterbacks. Cavanaugh in there now, as you said. It's 3rd down, 4 yards to go. Cavanaugh calling the signal. Strong side is left. Cavanaugh rolls right, looking for somebody to throw to. It's 45. Grabbed by Browner in the backfield and thrown down on the 43-yard line. Ross Browner makes a big play for Notre Dame again. He's made several here in the second half and was very, very evident on the field in the first half as well. A very important play for the Irish as a 4th down comes up for Pittsburgh. Pat, you know, Ross Browner's got a couple brothers still in high school. One kid, 12 years old, 6'1", 210 pounds, and Ross says he can dunk the basketball. So I think the Notre Dame scouts should stay in Warren for quite some time. I know Jim Browner's a black belt in karate as well. Here comes the kick from Swider. It hits on the 20, rolls down to Urich, gets it on about the 15, and he's dropped on the 15-yard line. With a score 21-10 in favor of Pitt. There's a timeout on the field, and now this for Pruitt. Calling signals to Slager. Irish out of the huddle. Strong side is left. The kid goes to Heavens off left tackle. Moves past the 16-yard line to the 17. Romano from his middle guard position slid over and made the tackle. So the Irish picking up maybe 1 yard on the play. Let's make it second down 9. When they've needed the big play, they've come up with it. Calling signals to Slager. Second down 9. The ball on the 16. Back to pass Slager. Rolls to the right. He's at the 10. Near side. Throws downfield. Incomplete. And Notre Dame had a man in the open on about the 30-yard line. Bob Jury tipped it away from him, and that man in the open had about 2 yards on Jury. But he couldn't grab the ball because Jury put his hand up in the air. Just as you called it, Pat, Jury and then a big defensive lineman was pinching Slager over on the corner. 12 seconds to go now at the end of the third quarter. It's third down, 9 yards to go, 17-yard line. Notre Dame comes out of the huddle. Strong side of the line is right. The quarterback, Slager, calls those signals. Looks over the defense, drops back to pass, sets himself on the 7. Big rush, and he is grabbed and dropped in the backfield by Randy Holloway first, and mopping up on the play for Pittsburgh later on was Cecil Johnson. And that's the end of the third quarter with the score, Pittsburgh 21 and Notre Dame 10. Restick in the end zone now, ready to punt. Extends his arm. Jones back on about the 49-yard line. High pass from center. Gets it away. Wobbly kick. Jones has it. 46. Moves upfield. 40. Hit on the 40-yard line and dropped in his tracks on the 40-yard line. Calhoun was there with a couple of others, and one of them was Howard Meyer. So the line of scrimmage is going to be the 40, and Pittsburgh takes over with good field position. Two important statistics. 3 turnovers against Notre Dame, 2 intercepted passes, 1 fumble loss, and 70 yards in the penalty column. Pittsburgh comes out of the huddle now, coming to the near side. As a wide receiver is going to be Willie Taylor. Far side is Jones. Haygood, the quarterback, has it. Or rather, Kavanaugh pitches out. Getting the ball is Walker. He spins around the left side to the 39, 38-yard line. And dropped on the 38, far side of the field. They're going to put it on the 39. So give him a gain of about 2 yards on the play. And it'll be second down, 8 yards to go. Ball on the 39. Pittsburgh leading 21 to 10. Matt Kavanaugh, the quarterback, bends over his center. Calls, signals, has it, rolls right, looks for somebody passer who's going to run. He's the 40, 35, moves up the middle of the 30-yard line. He's at the 28, drops on the 26-yard line. Making the tackle for Notre Dame is Ted Bergmeyer from his linebacker spot. Very clever play by Kavanaugh. That time, Notre Dame's defense took the bait to the outside, strung the play out on the halfback. Kavanaugh read it very well and went straight up the field for 12 yards. Tom Denon is helping me out. I'm Pat Sheridan. We're here with Mutual Sports. Notre Dame against Pittsburgh. Calling signals. First down 10 is Kavanaugh. He has it. Kavanaugh pitches back. Getting it is Dorsett. He's around the end. Is the 25 on the right side. He's down to the 21-yard line and dropped on the 21-yard line. Making a stop for Notre Dame with Randy Harrison coming up from his free safety spot. Took him around the shoulders, grabbed him by the shirt, and tossed him out of bounds. And had he not grabbed him by the shirt, he would have been down the sidelines to add to that 135 yards. Line of scrimmage at 21. Second down 5 after Dorsett's 5-yard run. He gives off to Hutton. Hits off the left side, off left tackle. He's up to the 20. Down to the 19-yard line, spins to the 18. Steve Heimkreider from his linebacker spot moves in and makes the stop. Kavanaugh calls signals. He's got the ball. Decides to keep. Now he pitches Dorsett. Round right side. 20, 15. Dorsett along the sidelines to the 10 near side. Knocks out of bounds on the 9-yard line. Coming up to make the stop for Notre Dame was Ross Browner. And he was also helped out on the play by Randy Harrison, the free safety. And Tom Eastman was there as well. We pause briefly for station identification. This is Mutual, your news and sports radio network.
3 minutes before 6 at WVTS to hold to clear weather tonight, mostly sunny and warm over the mile. Currently it's quad 101.7.
First and 10 for Pittsburgh. Quarterback Kavanaugh pitches back to Dorsett. Dorsett has it on the 10. He's around the left side to the 7 and rolled down on the 7. Coming in on a stop was Randy Harrison along with Ted Bergmeyer. Ted Bergmeyer, former wide receiver, moved to the defensive backfield at cornerback, wasn't moved out on the play. as Dorsett moved for about 3 yards, so it'll be 2nd and 6. Actually, this is a goal-to-go situation. They're in a 6-man line. Linebackers up close. Pitch back goes to Dorsett, round left side. He's at the 5, grabbed around the neck and thrown on the 5-yard line. Coming up to make the stop was Willie Fry. Moved laterally on the play and then pounced like a big cat as Dorsett tried to turn the corner. That time, Pitt ran into the short side of the field. You would think with somebody with Dorsett's speed that they would come to the wide side of the field. And Matt Cavanaugh with the ball. He gives off to Walker. No, it's a pitch back to Dorsett. Dorsett has it. Fumbles. He dropped on the 18-yard line. Coming in to make the play for Notre Dame was Harrison. He was also helped by Fry. Doug Becker, the linebacker, was there. Becker's a tough one, too. He won in the Bengal bouts, won the light heavyweight title. The line of scrimmage is going to be the 17, and there's a key play for the Notre Dame defense, a loss of 12 yards. Yeah, Becker was a light heavyweight at 220. The ball will be spotted on the near hash mark on about the 19-yard line. There is no wind problem. The flags are still. Here comes the boot. It's in the air. The officials look at it. They say it's good. Right through the uprights. Pittsburgh 24 and Notre Dame 10. There's a timeout with a score, Pitt 24 and the Irish 10. Will be Terry Urick. And raising his hand is Carson Long. We're getting ready for the kick. Permission from the official. He approaches the ball. It's in the air. High kick coming to Urick. He takes it far side on the 5 to the 10 to the 15. He's up at the 20. Hit at the knees at the 20 and spins his way to about the 24-yard line. Over the center now, and the strong side of the line is left as they've gone away from that 2 tight end system. Slips and falls in the backfield, gets up and throws, completes his pass on the 39-yard line, and grabbing it was Dan Kelleher. Kelleher grabbed it and fell immediately. He was off balance. He made a nice diving catch on the 39 as he made a little hook pattern to the outside on the far side. I don't think they can afford to fool around anymore, Pat, on that 3 yards in a cloud of dust. He's going to have to go up on the air. Of course, Pitt is reading pass, so it's going to be very difficult. 8-yard line just beyond the hash mark on the 38. It'll be 1st down 10 for Notre Dame. Slager calls signals. Back to pass on the 33. Cox's arm throws. Almost intercepted on the 45-yard line of Pittsburgh. Far side as Bob Drury stepped in front of Kelleher, the receiver, almost picked it off, and he had a clear sideline all the way to the end zone. That was close. Yes, he certainly did, Pat. He was down the sidelines all by himself until the ball was committed, and then Drury played it very well and almost picked it off. It's amazing the way this Pittsburgh defense consistently gambles. But they gamble in their defensive plays as well. Calling signals to Slager, the quarterback. Back to the 30. Rolling back the pass. Gets away from one. Grabbed in the backfield. Hit on the 25 and down on the 27. Big Randy Holloway making the play. He's the guy the coaches say can go anywhere and do anything. Of course, they're coming out of the blocks now. They know Slager's going to throw the football. If he can't roll out from tackle to tackle with a middle linebacker, they're coming him. That's 11 more negative yards for Slager this afternoon. And with 10:30 remaining in the ball game and the clock running, 24-10, Pitt leading. Notre Dame's in trouble. Slager bends over that center, calls the signal, 5-man line against him. Slager back to pass. He stands on the 17, throws upfield. Has McAfee on the 49. McAfee's hit, drops the ball. It's recovered by Pittsburgh on the 46, but it might be an incomplete forward pass. There's a question as to whether McAfee got possession of it. They're going to call it an incomplete forward pass on the Notre Dame 49, and Notre Dame will be in a punting situation as Steve Restick and his punting team come on the field, and we'll get a look at Gordon Jones on a punt return. At the risk of being redundant, Pat, again, the big end had the ball clean, took one step with it, took a good lick, dropped it. Great defense by the Pitt. Back on the 12-yard line is Joe Restick, the son of the Harvard coach, who was an offensive player last year for Notre Dame, a quarterback, now playing a safety position, has the ball. Here comes the boot. It's a high kick and a bad one. End over end. Hits on the Notre Dame 40. Bounces back to the 38. Touched and down on the 36-yard line. And Pitt gets wonderful field position. A 9-yard kick. 24-10 in favor of Pitt. There's a timeout on the field. And now this for our antenna specialist. Pitch to Dorsett. He's around the right side. 30, 25, 20, 10, 5. He is into the end zone for a touchdown. It might have gone out of bounds. Might have been knocked out of bounds on about the 9-yard line. He was. He was knocked out of bounds on the 9. Let's make it the 8-yard line as Tony Dorsett skipped in the end zone. but they say he stepped out on the 8-yard line, a 28-yard run for Tony Dorsett. So Pittsburgh has it again, first and goal on the 8-yard line. Dorsett can fly. Pittsburgh out of the huddle, 2 tight ends, balanced line. Quarterback has it. Kavanaugh has it. Around the left side, 5, end zone. He's in for a touchdown. Kavanaugh goes in for the score, and Pittsburgh scores again. It's 30-10, all set up on a big run by Tony Dorsett. 36 yards, 2 plays. Kavanaugh and Dorsett look as if they've been playing football together for about 15 or 20 years. First the pitch to Dorsett when everybody went for the quarterback. Then the fake pitch to Dorsett. Kavanaugh keeps when the 2 ends go for Dorsett. And the big, lanky quarterback just ambled in as pretty as you please for the touchdown. The ball will be placed on the 10-yard line. Carson Long with a try for the extra point. Try to make it 31-10 in favor of Pittsburgh. The ball is down. It's in the air. Official looks at it. It's good. We'll be back with the Pittsburgh kickoff in just a moment. 10 in favor of Pittsburgh. Carson Long raises his arm. The Pittsburgh players in their 3-point stances. Here comes the kick. It's a kick that bounds on the 20. Goes down to about the 10. Picked up by Urich on the 10. Far side. 15. Moves to the 20. Tries to cut to the outside of the 15 and is dropped with an ankle tackle around the 15-yard line. Dorsett is the quarterback. Bends over the center. Strong side of the line is left. Dorsett looks over the defense. He goes back to pass. Sets himself on the 17. Cocks the arm. Throws upfield. Incomplete. And the pass going downfield was intended for Haynes. It's incomplete. Far side of the field. 9:23 to go in the fourth quarter. 31-10 in favor of Pitt over Notre Dame. Notre Dame playing home run ball now with 9:23 remaining. Forsbeck has a very live arm, very strong. And that time, the fly pattern down the far sideline, overthrown. They come out of the huddle now. Forsbeck getting his first baptism of fire. He's looked very good for Notre Dame in practice. He's a junior. He has the ball, drops back to pass, sets himself, throws upfield, intended for McAfee, incomplete, dropped on about the 38-yard line, just too low. McAfee was running at the 38-yard line, tried to bend back for it, but just couldn't bend back far enough to get it. And so it'll be a third down coming up for Notre Dame, 10 yards to go, line of scrimmage to the 25. When you take away Reed's 53-yard Notre Dame record-breaking field goal, the Irish scored the first time they had their hands on the ball. They went 86 yards in 11 plays, and they've done nothing since. And only 9:18 remaining. It's been all Pitt. I mentioned that Reeves' field goal of 53 yards is the new Notre Dame record. Irish out of the huddle now. Forsbeck calling signals. Looks over that Pitt defense as the 3-man rush goes back to pass. Throws upfield, and it's intercepted on the 34-yard line by Pitt. Grabbing it is Cecil Johnson, the big defensive end, going back into pass coverage, moved out, made a big stretch, and grabbed the ball in his big hands and fell on the 33-yard line, and Pitt takes over with great field position, leading by 21 points, 31-10. In the fourth quarter, Kavanaugh has it. He pitches back to Dorsett around right side, 35-30. Dorsett is spun down on the 27-yard line, near side of the field. Making the tackle is Eastman, who is getting to see some action here this afternoon. He's from Elkhart, Indiana, 239-pounder, 6'1", and he's a senior. Tom Eastman made a nice tackle of Tony Dorsett. It's second down 4. Quarterback Kavanaugh bends over the center. Strong side of the line is left. He gives off to Hutton. Hutton hits up over left guard. Hutton is met at about the 27-yard line and tossed back to the 30-yard line by Willie Fry. Let's see where the official will mark the ball. He's going to put it at the 27-yard line. So it's going to be third down and 4 yards to go. Don Cricky had an attack of laryngitis, and I want to thank Tom for dropping by. I'm Pat Sherry. Here goes a flip back by Kavanaugh. Nobody there. The ball loose. Kavanaugh races back for it and falls on it on the 37-yard line. But it's going to be a loss of about 10 yards. Let's make it 9 yards as they spot it on the near hash mark on the 36-yard line in the shadowed part of the field. As a matter of fact, the entire field now is in shadow as the sun moves behind the stands. 43-yard line. That'll mean it'll be a 53-yard kick. And he'll be kicking at an angle from the near hash mark. Ball is down. Here comes the kick. It's in the air. It's not going to make it. It's about 5 yards shy of the goalpost. So Notre Dame, on the exchange, will take over. First down 10 on the 20-yard line. And here comes Notre Dame now with a strong side of the line left, calling signals. The quarterback Forrest, line of scrimmage the 20, drops back to pass, hits himself on the 18, throws upfield. He's got McAfee on the 40. He has it, far side of the field, to the 45 and drops on the 47-yard line. Making the stop, Bob Jury from the safety spot. They say that McAfee's knee hit on the 46, and that'll be the line of scrimmage on the far side of the field, 26-yard gain. Pitt just trading real estate for time now, 7:07 remaining. Everybody reading past, obviously, with a 21-point lead. As the clock hits the 7-minute mark, the Irish have a first down. 6:59 to go now as the clock continues to roll, 31-10 in favor of the Panthers. Calling signals for Sec back to pass. He's at the 40, cocks the arm, throws, incomplete far side of the field at the 30-yard line as he overthrew Kelleher and threw out of bounds. So it's a second down coming up, 10 yards to go, and after the toss, Forrest was leveled pretty good in the backfield. The Notre Dame offensive line was suspect this year. They lost a lot of key people to graduation. Second down, 10 yards to go. Ball on the 46-yard line. Forrest calling signals. Forrest looking at a three-man defensive line for Pittsburgh. Drops back to pass, rolls left. He's at the 40. Coxion throws incomplete on the 45-yard line of Pittsburgh, intended for Big Ken McAfee again. McAfee just couldn't hold it. Forrest has his team out of the huddle. Strong side is left. Looks over the Pitt defense again. He's got the same look he had before. Forrest back to pass, 39-yard line. They grab him in the backfield. It was Holloway coming in, taking him around the shoulders on the blind side and smashing him down on the 39-yard line. And Notre Dame now will be forced to punt. Again, we got to look at Gordon Jones on a return. He's standing back on the 25-yard line of Pittsburgh, kicking from the 25 of Notre Dame. Is Restic. He's got it in the air. Beautiful, high, towering kick to the 15-yard line, where it's taken by Gordon Jones. Moves to the near side. He's at the 20. He's at the 21, and steps out of bounds on about the 23-yard line. They spot him at the 23. Quarterback Kavanaugh brings his team out of the huddle. He gives off to his fullback. That would be Hutton. He hits off the left side on a slant play. Moves to about the 27-yard line, and wrapped up by Ross Browner. Also Fry on the play, on about the 28-yard line. At least from this vantage point, as about equal on this team, and that's what Johnny Major said before the season began. Kavanaugh has it. He gives off to Hutton. Hutton tries to hit the middle on misdirection. Dropped at the 30-yard line as the Notre Dame players stayed in their spots, and the stop was made in the Notre Dame line by Dyke, and Calhoun was also there. The line of scrimmage will be the 30. Walker's got good speed. Or will he pass? Fourth down. He has it. Pitches out to Hutton. Around the right side. 30, 35. Grabbed around the ankles and dropped on the 36-yard line near side of the field. Joe Restic makes a nice tackle for Notre Dame, but it probably is a little bit too late. However, it's going to be called back. It'll be illegal procedure call on Pittsburgh. We'd like to welcome WNHC, New Haven, Connecticut, WXRA, Washington, D.C., WFWN, and the Pittsburgh Panthers. Kavanaugh has them out of the huddle now. Hutton and Walker comprise the backfield. Kavanaugh has it. He rolls left. He's at the 20. Keeps the ball. Decides to run. He's at the 25 and drops at the 30-yard line on a nice tackle by Notre Dame's Willie Fry. The ball will be on the 30-yard line, bringing up a punting situation for Pittsburgh. Purdue uses the same system that the Pittsburgh Panthers do. They run out of that veer T formation. Here comes the punt now by Slider. Almost blocked. Gets it away. Beautiful kick. Back to the 20-yard line. Taken at the 20 now. Grabbed at the 20 and brought up to about the 21-yard line. A 50-yard punt. Notre Dame out of the huddle now with a line of scrimmage on the 21. First down, 10 yards to go, 3:42 to go in the fourth quarter. Calling signals to Sportek. Back to pass. Stands on the 12-yard line. Tosses. Incomplete. Knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Big defensive rush by Pittsburgh. Coming up with a big miss to hit that ball was Dave Logan, who has just gotten in the game. He's a middle guard. They're eating them up, Pat. There's nothing they can do that's right. Everything they do is wrong. Whether it's Schlegel or Forstek, if the ball gets upfield, it's underthrown. Several of those plays in the second quarter gave the Pittsburgh defense a lot of confidence, too. Made them more bold than ever. Calling signals Sportek. Back to pass. Looking for somebody to throw to. Throws downfield for Keller. Incomplete. Knocked down on the 45-yard line. Near side on a nice play in the defensive backfield by Mike Balzer, who last year started out as a first-string player.
You made a point a few moments ago about the fact that the Pitt secondary is playing such great ball. They almost dare Notre Dame to throw the ball. They lay off the ball, then once it goes in the air, they're quick enough to get to it.
3:32 to go in the quarter. The ball now will be on the 26-yard line. Pittsburgh has an offside call, so Notre Dame takes the penalty, and it'll mean a second down situation and 5 yards to go for the Irish. So the Panthers were offside on the play. Strong side right, 4-attack call signals. Looks over the defense, back to pass. He gives off to Evans. Evans has a hole. He's up to the 30 on the delay. Moves to the 31. Dropped on the 31-yard line. Making the stop is Jeff Pelusi, a freshman out of Youngstown, Ohio. Pelusi made a nice play, reacting to the move by Evans on the delay after the initial defense of Pittsburgh. Their front four was knocked out of the way. We're just in between the two half marks on 31 Notre Dame territory. 4-attack calling signals. Strong side right. 4-attack has it back to pass. Looks for somebody to throw to at the 25. Decides to run. He's 30, 35. Hit on the 35. Managed to sprawl forward on the far half mark to about the 38-yard line. I think they'll get him to the 38. No, they get him to about the 37-yard line. Making the stop, Desmond Robinson, a defensive end. So Johnny Majors of Pittsburgh now has decided to go with his second unit defense, and they have been performing well here in the last few minutes for Pittsburgh. The big defensive plays have made the difference for Pittsburgh this afternoon. Strong side left. 4-attack calling signals. 4-attack has it. Rolls left. Looks for somebody to throw to. Throws. Got McAfee on the 45 near side. McAfee has it dropped on the 48-yard line by Larry Felton coming up from his defensive halfback spot. They're going to get into about the 47, saying his knee touched there. The ball will be placed on the near hash mark, so it'll be a first down 10 for Notre Dame.
2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining, and it's going to be all over here late on a Saturday afternoon in South Bend. Pitt leading 31-10.
Strong side right, calling signals. 4-attack, the quarterback. 4-attack has it, drops back to pass on the 40, rolls out. He has a receiver on about the 45-yard line. Looks like McLean. He manages to squirm ahead to about the 40-yard line and drop finally on the 39-yard line, far side, with Tom Doman, who is a young man from Villa Park, Illinois, and during his high school years was just about everything in the Chicagoland area.
Notre Dame playing hurry-up ball, calling 2 plays in the huddle. Here we go again.
4-attack back to pass. Rolls left at the 46-yard line. 4-attack cocks the arm. Throws incomplete as the pass was intended for Doman. He was hit hard on about the 31-yard line and dropped the ball.
There's the mark of an excellent football team. 1:42 remaining, a 21-point lead, and they're still sticking those receivers like it's the opening minute of the football game.
Forstek has shown a great deal of poise this afternoon for Notre Dame. They have played very well, and they've worked very hard for a victory this afternoon. Forstek calling signals. Looking over the Pitt defense. Has it, drops back to pass. At the 35, caught the arm. Throws incomplete, intended for McAfee. Just a little bit behind him. Couldn't get it on the 8-yard line on the near hash mark. McAfee was in the open.
Yes, Pat, with 7 men around him. They threw into a crowd. Had it been thrown just a little bit up in front of him, the big guy from Brockton would have had it. But 7 white shirts around Big Ken McAfee.
The line of scrimmage is going to be the 27-yard line. Second down, 10 yards to go. 1:38 to go. Fourth quarter. Forstek calls signals. Strong side is right. Forstek has it. He rolls right. He's at the 35. Throws downfield. Incomplete. And all but intercepted at the 6-yard line. Far side of the field. On the play for Notre Dame was Tom Doman, and Jeff Delaney almost intercepted for the Pittsburgh Panthers. 1:32 to go in this football game. Pittsburgh played itself proud this afternoon. Back to pass. Goes Forstek. Forstek caught the arm, throws into the end zone. Intended for Kelleher. Intercepted in the end zone by Pittsburgh's Bob Jury. So on the near side of the field, in the end zone, Bob Jury makes a behind-the-back stab of a pass intended for Kelleher from Forstek. And this is the 4th Pittsburgh interception of the game, kind of rubbing salt
into Notre Dame's wounds this afternoon, and the Panthers take over on the 20. Kavanaugh remains at quarterback for Pittsburgh. He calls signals. He gives off in the backfield to Hutton. Hutton trying right tackle, and he's bottled up on about the 22-yard line and dropped on the 22. Now let's set that backfield of the Pittsburgh team. Penalty coming up on Pittsburgh, and it's going to be an illegal procedure call. 5 yards. Looks over the Notre Dame defense. He faces a four-man line, three linebackers. Kavanaugh gives off to Cinderwald. Cinderwald tries the left side of the line. He's wrapped up at about the 24-yard line. Ken Dyke makes penetration and makes the stop for Notre Dame. Dyke, as I said before, has performed very, very well, being called on at the spur of the moment. That they've lost their ace defensive tackle, Jeff Weston. Apparently he had ligament damage in his knee, and of course that could put him on the shelf for the entire season. Here comes Slider's kick. He kicks it from the 10-yard line. Barely gets it away. A low driving kick taken on the 30-yard line to the 33, near side 34, and dropped on the 34-yard line. Ted Bergmeyer brings his team out of the huddle. Strong side is right. Fortek looks over the defense. Calls signals. Has the ball. Drops back to pass. He's at the 25. Cocks the arm. Throws upfield. Caught on the 45-yard line. 40, 30. Down to the 28-yard line. Terry Urick from the wide receiver spot is dropped finally on the 28-yard line. It was a simple fly pattern, and he was led beautifully by Fortek. Beautiful play. 39 yards. Great catch by Urick, who had a bad knee off and on over the last year. Wrong side is right. Calling signals Fortek. Fortek getting ready to drop back to pass. Stands at the 35. Cocks the arm. Throws. Almost intercepted on the 10-yard line. There's 3 seconds left in the football game. On the near side of the field, Pittsburgh almost had an interception on the 10. Fortek just missed his receiver, who was making a slant-in pattern on about the 10-yard line. Underthrew him. Fortek getting a pretty good baptism of fire against a very good Pittsburgh defense, even if it is the Pittsburgh second unit. Back to pass. Fortek on the 36, rolls left. On the 35, throws incomplete in the end zone, and that's the end of the football game. We'll present the wrap-up of today's game right after this message for Kelly Springfield.